legislate them, before the politicians defend them. We hear it directly from the people. This is Citizens Direct on TVWest. I am Victoria Ogudende, and today we hit the street to ask citizens, if you had the opportunity to advise leaders on one thing about the economy, what would it be? Nigerians, the rising cost of living has changed how they spend, save, and even plan for the future. From food prices to transportation and other daily essentials, many households are really feeling the pressure. But beyond the challenges, how are Nigerians really adapting? And what solutions do they think can make life more affordable? Let's go.
Good morning, Nigerians. If I had the opportunity to talk to our government, I will tell them I feel our government are too careless about our lives, about how we live in Nigeria. There is no price control. Government should be able to come up with the policies that control the prices of things in the market. I think everybody just do their own things. Nobody really care. The government don't really pay attention to those things.
One, I will have to advise the leaders to get an advisor first. Advisor that knows things about finance. One. Then another thing is to check the population of the people you are leading. Their population matters, to know how you balance things.
So until our government can be able to come to the point where they put eyes to what is being sold in the market, what is being produced, how much is being produced, how much are they selling, so to be able to have the price control.
Because to import goods, to clear them, all these add to the cost of prices of goods. So these are the three things: to get a good advisor on finance, to check the population of the people you are leading. Then the third one is cost of importation of goods.
The condition of Nigeria today is not the condition we met 4 or 5 years ago. The hardship in Nigeria today is getting too much. You cannot buy anything in the market, and the Nigerian government are not doing anything. We want them to look into the hardship in Nigeria.
The living in Nigeria, the youth in Nigeria now is very, very high. Ordinary man cannot even eat maybe one square meal in a day. If you drink garri in the morning, in the afternoon, no food. In the evening, you don't even know what to eat. So everything, both work, everything is too high.
We don't have leaders. That is the problem we have. You know, they will go to abroad and see how they are doing abroad, how people are living in abroad. They will go there and buy houses, buy cars, buy bulletproof, buy private jets. The only thing I want them to know is they remember that when they die, they will not bury them without private jets. They will not bury them without houses. They will only go. If a Muslim, they will not bury you with a casket. If a Christian, they will bury you with a casket. But they should know that God is recording everything they are doing. The country is not going. Everybody know how much is fuel. Well, fuel is 1,000 something. Understand? People are suffering.
We are able to Nigeria government that to provide food for ordinary man in the street. At least we are dying. We are dying gradually. We are dying. Nobody, no food, nothing. We work, no work, nothing. They are just suffering.
Tomato is 1,000 or 1,000. Pepper 15 naira now is almost 1,000. It cannot cook. Things are going wrong, and government don't want to do anything. They know what they're supposed to do. They care for their pocket. They don't care for people.
To our government that to provide food for us, to provide good health, good accommodation, good electricity, to give us so that we can live as a human being. So I just need them to do good for us. That's it.
I think we need food. And transportation alone is killing us, most especially in Nigeria. So at least anything they can do about the food aspect, the feeding aspect, and the transportation, I think we are cool.
They should change and remember that it's God. Understand? Now they're talking about 2027 election. They're not talking about how people they're kidnapping everybody. You cannot travel. Now, if you are traveling, you'll be praying for God to save you. But we'll have leaders
course, a lot of people are suffering. I mean, rent is expensive, food, feeding is expensive, even to transport yourself down to work is very expensive.
For some places that we usually go at the rate of maybe 300, some now it's getting out of hand, some 500, some 600, and also we just ask the leaders, they are doing well, the fuel have started dropping, but they should still try it.
The average Nigerian is really suffering, and I really wish the government can look into the things that we Nigerians are going through and find a solution to this. If it's to try to regulate the prices and make it very easy for us.
We Nigerians, we don't really need to advise the government, rather we need to cry out so that the government will look into the cost of the living, like the housing, the road, the lights. There are things government need to do, especially in Lagos State. The
average salary earner is earning like 70k. Imagine you now putting down a price of 1 million naira for rent. How do you expect the person to afford it?
People can no longer afford one room to live in.
The cost of living now has gone higher, and people are living now from hand to mouth. Looking at the situation in the country and the minimum wage, and back to your question that what would be my advice to the leaders, to the government, is number one, there should be consistency in paying their salaries. And looking at the cost of buying things, even people that are earning minimum wages are not able to afford certain things, many things. So I will advise our leaders to look at the cost of commodities, most especially the cost of bringing things into the country, which I believe is the most of the reason why things increases. And also they should put some regulation into the cost of buying things.
I will advise them to bring down the cost of fuel, because the reason why things are expensive is fuel. If they come down, the cost of living will be a bit reduced.
Because look at things that people are buying in the market. Once the price goes up, the sellers do not think they should bring it down again, even if the cost of bringing it in reduces. So there should be a check, regulation check, that the government should put in place, so that in case if people get the little salary they are getting, they will be able to buy things.
The only thing, because they will tell you, oh, bringing goods, bringing rice or beans from the north is expensive, we pay this, we have to pay that, we have to pay all of this. Do you understand? So if they can reduce the cost of fuel, it will be a bit manageable. And if there is any other thing they can do, a lot of people are suffering. Some families barely eat.
So what I'm going to advise the federal government is that they should make sure that there is price control for everything, because that one will enhance us, and aside from that, is from generation to another generation. What I'm going to advise is that they should open more technical schools, so that people that are growing up, the children, they will be able to have skill, because it's not everybody that will go to the tertiary institution. So if they have been able to have something doing, it will also help to manage the economic system. So that's the only thing I can chip in.
Basically, the cost of living is telling on everybody. It's telling on moral values. It's telling on the way people run their day-to-day living. And from my own point of view, I feel the leadership should be more interested in the citizenry. They shouldn't just take decisions based on what they feel in the presidency, at the presidency level, at the government level. They should be in touch with the grassroots. And then when they are taking decisions, they should involve the masses, so that they don't just take it. Like the issue of subsidy. Subsidy is a very fine thing they did, but the process was very, 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 very detrimental to the masses.
There is so much hunger in the land. Some cannot even afford 1 square meal. So bring down the cost of things, fuel, transportation, and a whole lot. And I tell you, okay, just look at just 2 days ago, they were about increasing WAEC and NECO fee to 50,000 naira. And these are people who cannot even afford the 27,000 naira. Now it's on suspension. Who knows if they will come up tomorrow and continue with the 50,000 naira. Now what will now happen to poor families that cannot afford it? Children will be dropped out from school, increasing more suffering to the people of Nigeria.
The number one issue facing causing cost of living in Nigeria, I would say, is insecurity. Number one, when there is insecurity in some other places, you see that people will start moving to a particular place, like in Lagos, and everywhere will become congested with population. And if everybody is congested, if everywhere is congested like that, you see that number one cost of living is housing. Once everybody is congested in a particular place like that, you see that landlord will start exaggerating the price of housing. So in that case, I think government should make economic state more than Lagos. Like there should be different economic states than Lagos, and everybody coming into one place, and not like only Lagos, not everybody.
So I believe that they should consider the masses, engage them in the process of policy making, and I feel it would make things better. And then with the re-election issue, you don't need to campaign if you are doing the right thing. If you are doing the right thing, people would naturally want to vote for you to come back. But when you are not doing what the masses want, or they are not feeling you in the right way, then you have to go and do it by hook or crook. So if you want to get re-elected seamlessly, put the masses into consideration. That is, you voted, you swore to secure our lives and our properties. That is your main priority.
Secondly is food market. Insecurity have made farmers and other farmers and haters clashes. So in this, there's a short of food in the market. So if government can look into price regulation, because if you go into market to go and buy something now, you see that everybody are giving their price in a different rate. So there should be an agency that will be regulating price of things in the market, so that anybody can go into the market and get whatever he or she wants at affordable price. Because I might go now to go and buy something from a particular person, that person will sell at different price rate. If you go there to get your own from another person, it will be a different price rate. So that is not bringing like a stable competition in our market sphere in terms of food commodity. So if government have anything to do concerning cost of living in housing, there should be decongestion of population. Then there should be price regulation in the marketplace, so that things will come down. And if price of things come down like that, truly cost of living will be easy for citizens.
As Nigerians continue to adapt to the rising cost of living, one message is clear: long-term solutions and numerous other solutions provided by citizens, price regulation, fuel reduction, and so many others. We can only hope that the voices of citizens are heard and taken into consideration on the cost of living in Nigeria. This is Citizens Direct on TVWest. I am Victoria Ogudende. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. You're watching News Radar on TVWest. I'm Victoria Obudende. Here's what making headlines this hour. The United States praises President Tinubu for his firm stance against terrorism in Nigeria with a letter from Trump specifically commending efforts to protect Christian communities from violence. Nigeria Custom confirms the full reopening of exports at the Nigeria-Benin border with over 20,000 metric tons of non-oil goods valued at more than 1 billion naira recorded in Q2. On the foreign scene, Trump threatens to destroy Iranian infrastructure each time Tehran targets a vessel in the Hormuz Strait, as Houthi allies in Yemen warn of attacks on another key waterway. And in sports, Pep Guardiola is being considered for Italy's vacant coaching job, the Football Federation confirms, after the Azzurri missed a third straight World Cup and Gazzuto stepped down following their playoff exit in April. We'll bring you the details in a moment. He argued that the president, as commander-in-chief, is best positioned to lead comprehensive security reforms. The executive bill has already passed first and second readings in the House. The Senate has adopted it with about 8 minor amendments. Kalu described the legislation as one of Tinubu's signature reform initiative, pointing out to what President had long advocated multi-layered policing since his time as Lagos governor. Lawmakers convened on Monday outside their usual schedule due to the urgency of the legislation. Kalu expressed confidence the bill would secure presidential assent once passed. The self-styled Director General of the alleged Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council has explained how the agency was captured in the federal government 2026 budget. Service-oriented and passionate about the welfare of the people. 6 budget. Prince Adeni Adeyemi made the claims in an interview with social media influencer Very Darkman shortly after his arrest. He said he visited the budget office in December 2024 to seek inclusion in the 2025 budget, but was told the process had closed. Officials told him it would be considered for 2026. Adeyemi denied paying any bribes, saying he only promised to help officials with employment opportunities if the agency took off. He said he was surprised to later discover the agency appeared in the budget, adding that the process ended after his arrest because his legal troubles overtook every other plan. Adeyemi also denied ever meeting Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila. He said an intermediary handled everything and facilitated the alleged 400 million naira payments in dollars. Meanwhile, the House Committee investigating the PFIPC had testimonies from the head of service and the CBN. The head of service said the office rejected the council's request for organizational approval because it lacked documentation. The CBN also confirmed opening accounts for the council but said they remain inactive with zero balance. The Central Bank of Nigeria has admitted opening 2 foreign currency accounts for the controversial Presidential Foreign Investment Promotional Council. This came as Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila appeared at the ICPC headquarters to testify in the ongoing investigation into the fictitious agency. The CBN told the House Committee that the accounts, one in US dollars and the other in pound sterling, were opened following a mandate from the Accountant General Office, but the CBN director said no one activated the accounts, which remain inactive with zero balance. This contradicts the Accountant General's earlier claim that no accounts were opened in the agency's name. The head of service also testified that her office never allocated office space to the council. She said the space reportedly occupied by the council at the Federal Secretariat had been officially allocated to the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. However, she revealed that during the 2025 manpower budget exercise, the council submitted documents and received an authorized establishment for 314 positions. The House Committee is investigating the existence and operations of the agency, which the presidency had disowned. Gbajabiamila has denied any involvement with the council. A civil society coalition is raising urgent concerns ahead of the Osun State governorship election, warning of an alleged plot to declare a state of emergency. The group claims political thugs are already terrorizing motor parks and that the police have failed to act, while calling on security agencies and the international community to safeguard democracy. TVWest was at a press conference held in Lagos on Tuesday. Ahead of the 2026 Osun State governorship election, a coalition of civil society organizations for good governance has called for vigilance, expressing concerns over reports of a possible declaration of a state of emergency in the state. At the press conference held in Lagos, the spokesperson of the group, Comrade Chief Declan Hiekare, said credible intelligence and reports from the state point to what he described as an alleged plot to create insecurity as a basis for imposing emergency rule in Osun. The group equally noted that it has received alarming amounts of specific acts of aggression already unfolding across the state, adding that political thugs have involved motor parks in several parts of the state to instill fear on the citizens and also disrupt economic activities ahead of the polls.
Credible intelligence and disturbing ground reports point to a sinister, well-orchestrated plot to manufacture insecurity as a pretext to declare a state of emergency, suspend democratic governance, and sack the duly elected government of Governor Ademola Adeleke.
The group accused the police of failing to take decisive actions against alleged acts of violence linked to political thuggery, while claiming that despite complaints from citizens, the police has not done enough to protect lives and properties. It's warned that the situation could further erode public trust in the police.
A police force that chooses sides in a political contest ceases to be a neutral defender of peace and becomes part of the country threat. What is happening in Osun State today regarding the role being played by the Nigerian police should be a test to the current IGP that has said severally that he's for the people, that he's for equity, that he's for fairness. So on that basis, the IGP should investigate what is currently happening in Osun State regarding the activities of his men and call them to order. If truly he's for equity, just the way he promised that he's going to do.
Other members of the coalition who spoke at the conference echoed the concerns raised by the spokesperson, calling for neutrality from security agencies and opposition parties to protect the democratic process ahead of the election.
Osun State should not be plunged into crisis. Election should not be do or die affair. At least when Tinubu came into power, he said it's a continuation of Buhari regime. And I remember vividly during Buhari allowed free and fair election in all the states that were conducted. So Buhari was not desperate to win most of those states that were having the election under him.
They should allow peace to reign because women and children are the most affected people during the crisis. We want a peaceful election in Osun State.
One thing about political desperados in Osun State is that one thing, they lack the sense of political history. That Osun people are not people you can cow. They are politically and electorally independent. They are independent minded when it comes to election.
The group also called on the federal government and security agencies to remain neutral and prevent any actions capable of threatening democracy in Osun State. It urged the APC to caution its supporters against violence and appeal to the international organizations to monitor developments in the state, warning against any attempt to impose emergency rule or undermine the will of the people. Victoria Ogudainde, TVWest, Lagos. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has called on the National Assembly to investigate every allocation under the service-wide vote, particularly the 2.19 trillion naira personnel provision. He said Parliament must insist on full disclosure of the beneficiaries, legal basis, and spending framework for every kobo appropriated under the heading. Atiku described the 2026 federal budget as the most brazen assault on transparency in Nigeria's democratic history. He noted that 84% of the entire budget is concentrated in just 10 minutes in 10 ministries, departments, and agencies. He also pointed that the service-wide vote has ballooned from 638 billion naira in 2025 to 12.8 trillion naira this year, an increase of nearly 2,000%. He warned that if Tinubu's administration fails to explain the allocation, Nigerians would be justified in suspecting the funds are being used to bankroll the APC's political machinery and the presidential election bid in 2027. Article also queried how the Ministry of Finance had a personnel allocation of only 54.8 billion naira, while the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning is carrying a 2.19 naira personnel provision. It said the government cannot explain where trillions of naira are going as forfeited the moral authority to demand sacrifice from its citizens. He insisted that every unexplained trillion is a trillion diverted from classrooms, hospitals, security, and economic growth. The Himalaya Campaign Council, leading Governor Ademola Adeleke's re-election bid, has urged INEC to avoid lapses witnessed during recent half-cycles elections. Addressing journalists in Oshogbo, Director General Lere Oyewumi alleged during the elections in Ogun, Oyo, Jiwa, and Ekiti State, suspected mercenary voters were issued PVCs shortly before voting. He also alleged that already thumb-printed ballot papers were distributed during the Ekiti governorship election. He claimed technical challenges with BVAS machines and said political parties that did not fleet candidates appeared on ballot papers. Oyewumi expressed concerns over boastful statements by APC leaders about preloading BVAS machines ahead of the Osun election. He said these strikes are the heart of electronic accreditation. They also raised concerns about the distribution of new PVCs, demanding transparency and warning against collection by proxy. Oyewumi insisted the concerns were aimed at strengthening the electoral process, not undermining confidence in INEC. Voters in Osun State will go to the polls on August 15th. 14 political parties are fielding candidates. Adeleke's APC Bayo, Bola Oyebanji, and ADC's Najim Salam are the three leading candidates. The Oyo State government has launched the Digital Land Survey Plan Registry to enhance transparency and efficiency in the land administration. The Commissioner for Lands, Housing and Urban Development said the platform is designed to modernize the registration, management and verification of survey plans. It said digitizing the registry will provide faster, more secure and reliable services to surveyors, investors and the public. The Commissioner said the initiative reinforces the state's commitment to digital transformation and efficient land administration. 40 personnel began training on Monday to equip them with skills needed to operate the platform. Upon successful completion, participants will be offered temporary employment opportunities. The digital platform and training program are sponsored through a public-private partnership between the Oyo State government and the Private Network Nigeria Limited. The Commissioner thanked the Federal School of Surveying, Oyo, for its technical contributions to the initiative. He said the partnership has strengthened efforts to build local capacity and advance modern land administration practice. The Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed a fatal road crash that claimed the life of 2 persons at Leme along the Abeokuta-Ibadan Expressway. The crash involved a black Lexus car and a black TVWest motorcycle. 6 adult males were involved in the incident, which occurred on Monday at about 5:45 p.m. The FRSC spokesperson said no injuries were recovered. Operatives arrived at the scene within 5 minutes of the distress call. The crash was caused by a speed violation, underscoring the persistent danger of excessive speed on Nigerian roads. FRSC personnel evacuated the victims and deposited the deceased at the State Hospital, Ijayi Mortuary. Recovered items included an identity card and a mobile phone. The road has been cleared to restore free flow of traffic. The sector commander commiserated with the families and urged motorists to obey speed limits and avoid dangerous driving. He emphasized that speeding reduces reaction time and increases severity of crashes. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has resumed implementation of the Dion regulations following a court judgment upholding their validity. A federal high court in Lagos dismissed a suit filed by WASPAN challenging the Commission's health the Commission's authority to issue and enforce the regulations. The court ruled that the Dion regulations were made within the statutory and constitutional powers of the Commission. It also discharged the interim order that had earlier restrained the FCCPC from enforcing the rules. WASPAN had challenged the Commission's authority to regulate digital lending operators under the framework, following the interim court order issued in April. The FCCPC suspended implementation. The FCCPC says the legal barrier has now been removed, making the regulations fully operational and enforceable. The Commission says the regulations were introduced to promote responsible lending, improve regulatory accountability, and address unfair practices in the digital lending market. The FCCPC says it will continue to support innovation and financial inclusion while ensuring that digital lending operates within a transparent and fair regulatory environment. Now to the news from the rest of the world. Britain's new Prime Minister Andy Burnham has kickstarted its program to ease the cost of living by removing tax on household electricity bills. The Labour leader who took over on Monday said value-added tax will be taken off from bills from October. The policy will cost the government about £850 million. The measure saves the average household about £45 a year. The government says it supports the poorest household who spend a higher percentage of their income on energy bills. The tax cuts will be funded by cancelling previous Prime Minister Keir Starmer's plan for a digital ID scheme that would have cost £1.8 billion. Burnham has also pledged to respect strict fiscal discipline. Official data showed UK government borrowing dropped more than expected in June. The new finance minister says fiscal control is the bedrock of economic stability and national security. Burnham's long-term goal is in the reindustrialization of Britain and mass building for municipal housing. The IMF forecasts the UK economy to outperform other major economies this year. Antibiotic-resistant gonorrhea is spreading across Europe, and health officials warn infections are increasingly being transmitted locally. The European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control says cases are rising in several communities, including France, Germany, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. Early detections were mainly travel-associated, but that picture has shifted since 2025 with growing evidence of local spread. An ECDC expert says local transmission is a warning sign that should not be ignored. He warns that the treatment options could become increasingly limited if drug-resistant strains continue to spread. The main treatment is ceftriaxone, but the bacteria are becoming increasingly resistant to it. Southeast Asian countries remain major source of restrained strains that have spread internationally, but the ECDC warns of increasing evidence of local transmission across Europe. Gonorrhea notification rates in the European region has risen by 303% over the last 10 years. In 2024, there were over 100,000 confirmed cases, the highest number recorded since EU surveillance began. The ECDC says the risk to the general population is currently low, but risk for people with multiple partners and those traveling to areas with higher circulation of resistant strains. In sports, FIFA has confirmed it will investigate the ugly scenes at the end of the World Cup final. The disciplinary committee has appointed a prosecutor to assess what happened after the final whistle at MetLife Stadium. Any player or coach involved could face suspension, while the Argentine Football Association may also be fined. Following their 1-0 defeat, members of the Argentina team were involved in altercations with Spain players as they celebrated their victory. Nahel Marolin, Nildro Paderes, Thiago Hamda, and assistant coach Roberto Ayala all appeared to be involved. Paredes appeared to strike Spain defender Eric Garcia in the throat. He also pushed Gavi to the floor. Molina appeared to push Rodri. Ayala appeared to hold Garcia around the throat and strike Dani Homlo. FIFA had already begun potential disciplinary actions against Argentina after players held a banner supporting claims to the Falkland Island following the semi-final win against England. Argentina's boss Lionel Scaloni attempted to calm the situation but appeared to play down the incidents. He said they are gracious in defeat and accept the loss. That's News Radar this hour. I'm Victoria Ogudainde. Thank you for joining us. Stay with us, stay with TVWest for more trusted journalism, meaningful conversations, and solution-focused programming. Until the next bulletin, stay informed, stay inspired. Good afternoon. The Lagos State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has unveiled Khadijat Bello as the running mate to its 2027 governorship candidate, Adedeji Dorothy. Bello, a technocrat turned politician, was presented at the ceremony in Ikeja. The party also presented certificates of return to its candidate for the Senate, House of Representatives, and Lagos State House of Assembly elections. The party equally inaugurated its Independent Campaign Council and Lagos PDP Campaign Council ahead of the general elections. The Lagos PDP chairman described Bello as intelligent, service-oriented, and passionate about the welfare of the people. He said victory is assured for Lagos PDP in 2027. In her hand speech, Bello thanked the party leadership for finding her worthy of the nomination. She urged members to set aside their differences, saying unity would overcome every challenge.
First and foremost, I will give all glory to Almighty God, Almighty Allah, for His grace, His guidance, His faithfulness, because without Him, none of this would have been happening or possible at this moment. I sincerely appreciate our leadership, party leadership, for finding me worthy of this great responsibility. I thank our governorship candidate, His Excellency, Engineer Adedeji Dorothy, for the confidence reposed in me. I assure you that I will be a dependable partner, committed to loyalty, teamwork, and collective vision we have for our dear state. The task ahead of us is enormous, but I am confident that together we can overcome every challenge. Let us put aside our differences and work as one people.
Dorothy described Bello as an accomplished woman who would join him in rebuilding Lagos through responsible leadership. He said after more than 2 decades of one-party dominance, Lagos residents are eager for governance built on competence and accountability.
I firmly believe that Lagosians, after more than 2 decades of under one political dominance, which is the APC of course, are eager for an alternative model of governance built on competence, accountability, inclusiveness, and equality service of delivery.
He appealed to former PDP members now in the other parties to return. Dorothy also announced Pastor Shem Enoch as Director General of the Independent Campaign Council and Mr. Akim Olalemi as Director General of the Lagos PDP Campaign Council.
It is equally my great honor to announce the appointment of 2 distinguished gentlemen who will coordinate our campaign structures. First on the list will be Reverend Sham, who will be the Director General of the Dorothy Bello Independent Campaign. Pastor Sham, can you come on front here, please? Thank you very much. You can start. Here, I want to present to you the Director General for the Lagos State PDP Campaign Council, Olalemi.
The PDP Southwest Secretary expressed confidence in Dorothy's capacity to govern Lagos, saying the party would win by May 2027. The event attracted party leaders and members from all 20 local government areas of the state and the Southwest Zone. Victoria Ogudende, TVWest, Lagos. Issue has many voices. Before the experts debate them, before the politicians defend them, we hear it directly from the people. This is Citizens Direct on TVWest. My name is Victoria Ogudende, and today we ask citizens what they think could be done to address the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. For many Nigerians, the issue of insecurity goes beyond the headlines. It affects how people do business, travel, and go about their daily life. Today on Citizens Direct, we meet with citizens to ask them what they think could be done to address the issue of insecurity in Nigeria and what role should individuals play to have a safer society.
When we talk of insecurity in this country now, it's affecting everybody, both local and international and everything. You see, what we should do is we should go back to our regional system security in the olden days. Like local government everywhere, they're supposed to have their own local security, state, everything. Join with federal government. We need to assist federal government too, because this thing is affecting everybody in this country. We should try. Every local government chairman and all this thing, they should form security that will protect all the local ones and all this thing, all our farmers and everything. If you see now, because of insecurity in this country now, the food something now, everything is raising. No food, nothing, everything, because nobody to go to farm to do anything. We should try to assist ourselves. Everybody now, this insecurity affecting everybody. All of us should be a security together. And when we hear any information, we give to police or you give to any local vigilante and all this, so that they can take action about it. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what my own idea about it.
Okay, I think insecurity in Nigeria is more of a political issue rather than the natural issue. We have seen the likes of things that are happening in Nigeria in the present day is presently happening in other African countries, which are not taken lightly. I haven't really seen any evidence or convincing evidence where the government is actively fighting the present state of insecurity in Nigeria. So I think the government has a bigger role to play. Even though citizens also has roles to play, but they are rather minor than what the government has to do in Nigeria. When it comes to our defense, I think the government has to do more. You have to actually support the military rather than the way it has been done on paper. There are instances where we see military personnel complaining that they are having to go to battles without proper equipment, machineries. But on a daily basis, we see what these bandits are doing online. They have TikTok accounts. Security has gone beyond just carrying guns. It is now technology. So it's not just about carrying guns and rifles about. These people are in the bush there. They can be easily tracked. So we need to involve tech more into our security system rather than just the regular way we have been doing it. So I think that is the major thing we need to focus on.
My advice is that before the issue of insecurity, like all these banditry, kidnapping and all that stuff, back then there was, before each state there was a border, there was toll gates. So and then for every toll gate, like a kind of checkpoint before the toll gate, and after the toll gate, there is also checkpoint. And for every checkpoint, there are soldiers, there are policemen, there are custom officers, there are NDLEAs. So you get what I'm saying. So my advice is that government should build for every state, within the border of every state, government should build toll gates. So if there are toll gates in every border of every state and even within the states, it will be difficult it will not be easy for all this kidnapping and banditry. Because, for example, when you kidnap a child and you are trying to take the child through to another state, or you know what I'm saying, there will be soldiers, there will be policemen. So it will not be easy for them to it will not be easy for kidnappers to pass through the toll gate. So that's my own listing, that government should build toll gate at every boundary of every state. So it will not be easy for them.
What actually happened is that I think the best approach to tackle insecurity in this country is probably the federal government should be able to implement the aspect of the camera aspect, input it in most important places. Because when you look at the most advanced countries, they have camera in most places, and then there's always this kind of way of whereby we have people that are in charge of the camera, that are always ready to take actions of everything. So, and also I think the implementation of these state policing, once it takes effect, there will definitely be changes. So these are some of the things that, and even we ourselves as citizens, we can always report everything, any kind of suspicious aspect in any environment, inform the security agency in as much as the information is important and needed as soon as possible. So I think with that, things will change gradually.
For me, I would say if Nigeria is going to be better tomorrow or today, I would say that we should learn how to be loving, which means Nigeria should unite. We should be able to do things together, because right now all I can see is division. Nigerians are really, really divided. Nigerians are very, 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 very greedy. I'm from the western part of Nigeria, and I can tell you that my tribe is one of the greediest tribe ever in this country. Nigerians are very, very greedy, and we really need to stop that selfish mentality. It's not me, it's my neighbor. You know, all of those things. No worry, if you affect my neighbor, it no go affect me. That type of mentality. So I would just say Nigerians can do better. If we are not doing better, we'll continue to live like this, and it won't stop. It won't stop. Nigerians don't know how to stand up for themselves, and we get carried away easily. Few weeks ago, we were still talking about the children that were kidnapped, and all of a sudden, the first lady of the country, she talked about empowering older women with helping them with funds for akara and corn. And the next thing, everyone turned it into comedy skits and all of that. And look at where it has gotten us. Those children are still in the bush, and we've all forgotten about them. But yeah, we are all here trending. We are all using everything in this country to trend. For me, I'll say it is really, really bad. It is really, really bad, because if we actually love ourselves and we really, really live in unity, things like this won't happen. We will still be able to talk about this matter. Man, it's over a month now that these children are in the bush, and we've not known anything, we've not heard anything about it. Nothing has happened, and everybody is just moving on as usual. My point is, Nigerians should stop. We should stop this selfish mentality.
Well, as for the government, they need to focus on the less civilized area, and as for the citizens, like, we need to focus on our curfew, because there are times that parents say like small children shouldn't stay outside till 10 p.m. 9 p.m. and we know that all these kidnappers, they are always outside in the night to do their bad things. So we need to focus more on our curfews, and parents should monitor their children, while the government need to like raid all those less civilized area to protect them well, because those bandits can't come to a place like this because it's well open. But places like the forest, bushes and all sort of that is where they stay, that's where they dwell. So the government needs to focus like their securities on that place. We need more tightened securities. I think that's what should be done for now.
Do you know what about the security? As in, they should, like, all these children that they are kidnapping. You know, once they kidnap some children in Ibadan, those students in Ibadan, that is very bad. As government or President Tinubu should help us about this insecurity in Nigeria, and we citizens also should, I don't even know how to say it, as in we citizens in Nigeria too should play our role as a Nigeria person. So, and then I want to even say something. Some guys used to beat a woman in Nigeria. So government, President Tinubu should find something to do about that. It's not allowed for a man to be beating a woman. I witnessed it in my area at Kate today. So they should not be beating those women. And then the children that they are kidnapping, that is this is not Boko Haram time again. So President Tinubu should find something to do about that, and government also. So I'll not say more than that.
I talk about the insecurity in the country, my sister. It's so challenging. It's so bad. We can't even travel to our own state. Like me, I'm from Benue State. It's so bad that we're in this Lagos. It's like we travel like every year like twice or 3 times in our state, but like we can't travel anymore, because when they kidnap us and they ask us to bring like 100 million, 200 million, who can we call for that? Who can we call? Most of my brothers and sisters are civil servants. They are civil servants. How much is their salary? So we decided to like remain in Lagos. We just stayed in Lagos, and I think Lagos is over populated because of the insecurity of the thing. So please, we like call on our governments to at least we have army, we have police, we have a lot of agencies. Let them help us and chase these people out of our road to our state, so that we'll be able to like have peace in our state.
Although this insecurity in Nigeria, it has been like for like 10 years, 15 years now. Boko Haram, this before now the bandits now. And secondly, I think we ourselves, our citizens, we should be our brother keeper. I mean, we should be getting ourselves, and our neighbor, our colleague, our work. You should see something. Anything you see that is not good, or for like insecurity, like you see someone carry a bag or sack into any neighborhood, speak out. Don't fear. Even in a bus, say anything that this thing is like strange something. Please speak louder. Because number one, federal government, they cannot come down from Abuja to your room or to your neighborhood. But we ourselves, we are here to secure ourselves, protect ourselves, even in the mosques or church. Although our pastors and our imam, they are trying their best, at least by making police around us on Sunday and Friday. Yet, but we ourselves, as a member, we should try as much as possible to be looking around us. Being a church, because olden days they will say if people are fighting, once you are tied to church, they say you are saved or mocks you. But now it has changed. So please, and I'm hugging our leader in politics, work, banks, all our elders. They should please try to add more to the security for us, because I think we messes, we don't have much energy to speak up, but we that we have money at least. And also, please, I thank our military men, Nigerian, the soldier, the police, they are doing well. Even this our Amatekun, you can see, because every day in our news, today, I mean, they go inside bush, because someone like me now, I can't go to bush. The power to go bush, I don't have it. But then, the soldier men, they have family. their future. Yes, they will go to inside bush to go and fight the bandits. So kudos for them, our military men. I really thanks to them very well. But yet they should add more for us, for the security, and our president also. This coming election also, I think they are planning to campaign for us. But please, insecurity, food, lights, water. Although Lagos government and Ogun State, they are doing their best, because I'm living at here now, Ojudubega. Like 15 years ago, Ojudubega road is no good at all. Even to that land there, but now it's good now. So our governor and Abiodun is trying their best. Our governor in Lagos State, they are doing more. Thanks to even our lights is okay now. Because now we can use like 18 hours now for lights now. Yes, they are trying their best. So please, I'm begging them for this security in Nigeria. And we also, we the masses, should also to help our friends, our neighbor, our colleague in our area. So God bless you.
Okay, we talk about the security. I think number one is state police. Just start from there, state police. Then after that, I think even ourselves, we can start to secure our environment. Like now, if I see something wrong happen in our environment, I call the police. I call the nearest police station to come and check what is going on there. So that's what I think.
It's really devastating to see that Nigerians continue to live in fear. However, we hope that the voices of citizens are heard and worked upon on the issue of insecurity. This is Citizens Direct on TVWest. My name is Victoria Ogudaide.
lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba dániwáyé ọba ṣẹ̀dá ọba tó ka èmi àti ẹ̀yin sí ní àkókò tí ẹ̀ ń wo ìkànnì TVWest yìí a mú ètò kan pàtàkì kí la pè ètò náà kí ni Bíbélì sọ lórí ètò yìí la ó ti máa jíròrò la ó ti pe àwọn akọni ẹ̀dá àwọn tó mọ̀ ti fún tẹ̀dọ̀ inú Bíbélì ìyẹn àwọn àlùfáà àwọn pásítọ̀ tí wọ́n mọ ibi tí wọ́n dojú ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run kọ nínú Bíbélì ibi tí a ó ti máa jíròrò àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó ta kókó lónìí àlùfáà wà nínú ilé agodo níbí báyìí ìyẹn àlùfáà wo ni mò ń pè rí the Venerable Simeon Ajayi láti inú ìjọ the African Church Emmanuel Parish Ọgbà àwọn ni a ó jìjọ máa gbé àkórí ọ̀rọ̀ tòní ni pé kí ni Bíbélì sọ lórí ìdámẹ́wàá àti ọrẹ orúkọ mi ò yí padà Àbọ̀sẹ̀dé Adégbóyèga lórúkọ mi ẹ máa bá wa. ẹ̀yin ará ilé ẹ bá mi kí káàbọ̀ sínú ìkànnì yìí lówùúrọ̀ yìí àlùfáà àgbà ìjọ the African Church Emmanuel Parish Ọgbà the Venerable Simeon Ajayi ẹ káàbọ̀ ẹ bá mi kí àwọn ará ilé.
iṣẹ́ púpọ̀ akíwòwò àwọn ará ilé obìnrin tẹ̀ wò wá pé àkókò yìí àgbàdúrà pé ọlọ́run àánú àfihàn ẹ̀ àǹfààní gbé nígbà orúkọ Jésù ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
lákòókò yìí a ó máa ṣàgbéyẹ̀wò kókó ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ wípé kí ni Bíbélì sọ lórí ìdámẹ́wàá àti ọrẹ nínú bíbélì àwọn kan gbàgbọ́ wípé wọ́n kọ síbẹ̀ pé dandan ni kí a máa san ìdá mẹ́wàá àwọn kan sì gbàgbọ́ pé torí àwọn èèyàn Ísírẹ́lì lásìkò yẹn òfin mosaic òun ni wọ́n ń lò òyìn ló sọ wípé kí wọ́n máa san ìdá mẹ́wàá kí ni ẹ lè bá wa sọ nípa ìdá mẹ́wàá.
ìdá mẹ́wàá gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti pè ní èdè Yorùbá mo mọ̀ pé ní ayé tí a wà lónìí ó ti jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó ti dá àríyànjiyàn tó pọ̀ sílẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá wò ó ká wò ó lọ síbi tí ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ a rí i pé ìdá mẹ́wàá ò yẹ kó jẹ́ ohun tó máa di àríyànjiyàn gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti ń fà á yìí ní kúkúrú èdè ìdá mẹ́wàá ní bí Yorùbá ṣe pé ó jẹ́ ìdá mẹ́wàá ohun tí èèyàn ní àfi fún Ọlọ́run ó dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá ńlá wa tí a pè ní Ábúráhámù níbẹ̀ ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹni àkọ́kọ́ tó san ìdá mẹ́wàá nìyẹn sísan ìdá mẹ́wàá ti ẹ̀dẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ́ kì í ṣe pé Ọlọ́run ló pa á láṣẹ fún láti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ òun fúnra ara ẹ̀ láti inú ẹ̀ ló fi ẹ̀mí ìmoore hàn sí Ọlọ́run bàbá wò ó nínú Bíbélì ìwé Genesis orí 14 àárín bẹ́ẹ̀ Ábúráhámù jáde ó lọ ja ogun láti gba Lot sílẹ̀ kúrò lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó kó àwọn ará Sódómù àti Lot nítorí gbà yẹn Lot ń gbé ní ilẹ̀ Sódómù so ogun wá ja ilẹ̀ Sódómù àti Gòmórà so wọ́n kó Lot pẹ̀lú àwọn ogun yẹn so Lot dẹ̀ jẹ́ bí àbúrò sí Ábúráhámù so Ábúráhámù jáde ó lọ jagun ó dẹ̀ gba Lot sílẹ̀ ó tún kó ẹrù ó kẹrù ó kó wálé so nígbà tó fi wá délé inú ẹ̀ dùn pé bí ogun yẹn ṣe le tó òun ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ láti borí so ó wá ní òun dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run láti inú ọkàn rẹ̀ ló fi sọ pé ó pe gbogbo nǹkan tó ń kọ́ lójú ogun yẹn ìdá mẹ́wàá ẹ̀ òun fi fún ẹ tí a pè ní Mèkísédékì nínú Genesis chapter 14 yẹn a pè ní ọba Salem king of Salem àdìtú mìíràn nìyẹn ká fi yẹn sílẹ̀ so òun ni ẹni tí Ábúráhámù fún ní ìdá mẹ́wàá ní àkókò yẹn so ó jẹ́ ohun tó ti inú ẹ̀ wá tí olóyìnbó ń pè ní voluntary act of gratitude to God ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tó ń tẹ̀síwájú lábẹ́ òfin Mósè gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ so àwọn èèyàn rí i pé òkè Ábúráhámù ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ Jákọ́bù ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ so kẹ́ka kúkú fi ká sọ di òfin fún gbogbo ènìyàn láti máa mú ìdá mẹ́wàá wá fún sí ilé Ọlọ́run torí pé oore ọ̀fẹ́ yìí á jẹ́ kí a lè ṣe ìtọ́jú àwọn ọmọ Léfì àti àwọn mìíràn tó jẹ́ pé wọn ò ní àǹfààní láti ní àwọn ohun tí wọ́n tó yẹ kán ní láti fi tọ́jú ara wọn àwọn bí opó àwọn ọmọ aláìní bàbá àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ so torí ìdí èyí ni a ṣe sọ di òfin lábẹ́ òfin Mósè wípé kí gbogbo ènìyàn kí wọ́n máa mú ìdá mẹ́wàá èrè oko àbí ohun gbogbo tó tí Ọlọ́run bá pèsè fún wọn kí wọ́n máa mú wá Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ fi àṣẹ sí so láti ìgbà yẹn ló ti di òfin tí àwọn ará Ísírẹ́lì tẹ̀lé.
ní àwọn ará Ísírẹ́lì ni wọ́n ń tẹ̀lé bọ̀ ní òde òní àòsí láyé ìgbà àwọn Ísírẹ́lì gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sọ wípé voluntarily bàbá wa Ábúráhámù ni wọ́n sọ wípé kí a máa san ìdá mẹ́wàá kì í ṣe òfin láti ọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run bá àwa sọ pé wọ́n ti sọ di òfin ǹjẹ́ ó pọn dandan fún Kìrìsìtẹ́nì láti máa san.
ní gbogbo ọ̀nà generally bóyá ẹ̀kan lóṣù ẹ̀kan lọ́sẹ̀ ojoojúmọ́ ìdá mẹ́wàá ohun tí ó yẹ kí ó jẹ́ ni wípé ó yẹ kó jẹ́ ohun tí ènìyàn ń ṣe láti inú ọkàn rẹ̀ láti fi ẹ̀mí ìmoore hàn sí Ọlọ́run ní ti ìhà bóyá kó jẹ́ dandan àbí kó má jẹ́ dandan mo fẹ́ ká wò ó ní ìwò wípé ká má wò ó gẹ́gẹ́ bí òfin ká wò ó bí ìwò pé kí ni ìdí ẹ̀ tí a fi sọ di òfin lábẹ́ òfin Mósè ìdí ẹ̀ ni wípé gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ká lè ní àwọn nǹkan
láti fi pèsè fún àwọn ọmọ Léfì, àwọn aláìní, àwọn opó, àwọn àlejò àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Bí a bá wo eléyìí dáadáa ní àwòjinlẹ̀, ó yẹ ká wò ó ní ọkàn wa wípé ohun tí ìdí tí a fi sọ di òfin ni láti máa ṣe ìpèsè fún àwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún. tó bá wò ó ní ìwò yẹn, ká tún wò ó pẹ̀lú ohun tí Ábúráhámù ṣe láti fi ẹ̀mí ìmoore hàn sí Ọlọ́run. Kò yẹ kí á tiẹ̀ ṣe sọ fún onígbàgbọ́ kan káṣẹ́ kàn pa fún ẹ àbí káṣẹ́ sọ fún ẹ pé òfin dè ẹ́ pé kó san ìdámẹ́wàá. Ó yẹ kó rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀nà láti fi ẹ̀mí ìmoore ó ṣiṣẹ́, Ọlọ́run fún ọ ní èrè. Torí pé kì í ṣe ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí onígbàgbọ́ gbàgbọ́ pé ohunkóhun tí ènìyàn bá ní kì í ṣe nípa ipá, kì í ṣe nípa agbára, kì í ṣe nípa oore ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run. So bí a bá rí oore ọ̀fẹ́ yẹn gbà tó ṣiṣẹ́ tó ní èrè, bóyá ó ń gbowó oṣù ní gbowó oṣù àbí bóyá ó ń tajà tó ní àwọn èrè lórí ẹ̀, ó yẹ kó kọ́kọ́ fi ọkàn dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé Ọlọ́run mo dúpẹ́ o. So fún eléyìí tí ẹ ṣe fún mi nínú èrè tí mo rí yìí, mo fi eléyìí fún ẹ.
Ó dáa, ẹ jẹ́ ká tún wò báyìí. Èmi bí mo ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, oníṣẹ́ oṣù ni mí, mò ń gbowó oṣù. Bóyá mo gba 100,000. Mo tún ń ṣí ṣọ́ọ̀bù, mò ń tajà ní ṣọ́ọ̀bù. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tún fi owó ránṣẹ́ sí mi, ó di ọ̀nà mẹ́ta, àbí? Ṣé nínú owó oṣù mi yẹn ni mo ti máa yan ìdámẹ́wàá ni? Àbí nínú owó ṣọ́ọ̀bù ni mo ti máa yan ìdámẹ́wàá ni? Tàbí nínú owó ẹ̀bùn owó tí wọ́n fún mi, ṣé náà ni màá ti yan ìdámẹ́wàá? Àbí lórí mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tí bá ṣàkójọpọ̀ mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta ni màá ti yan ìdámẹ́wàá? Èwo gangan ni ìdámẹ́wàá nínú mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta?
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Tabadika wò gẹ́gẹ́ bí ohun tí ó wà nínú òfin Mósè, ó ní nínú èrè oko àbí iṣẹ́ tí èèyàn bá ń ṣe kan yọ ìdámẹ́wàá kúrò. So tabadika ìyẹn ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń wò ní ayé òde òní pé lórí bóyá wọ́n gba sálárì wọ́n á yọ, àbí bóyá lórí pé bóyá wọ́n ń tajà wọ́n á yọ. So bóyá lórí ẹ̀bùn èèyàn kan fún yàn lẹ́bùn àbí nǹkan kan, ẹlòmíì ò kí ń wò lọ sí sáìdì bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n bí Olúwa bá fi sí ènìyàn lọ́kàn, ẹ rí ohun kan tí mo máa ń sọ fún èèyàn pa ìdámẹ́wàá, òun ni eléyìí pé fífún Ọlọ́run ní ìdámẹ́wàá, ohun tó ń sọ ní ọkàn ẹ ni wípé owó tí mo rí yìí àbí owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ mi, òun kọ́ ni báwo ni Yorùbá ṣe máa pè, òun kọ́ ni source.
Òun kọ́ ni ọ̀nà tí mo gbà pawó.
Òun kọ́ ni source láti pèsè fún mi. Ọlọ́run òun ni source mi. So ohun tí ó túmọ̀ sí lọ́dọ̀ tèmi nìyẹn. Bí ènìyàn bá, because ìdí tí ẹlòmíì fi máa ń wò pé kò ní ìdí ìdámẹ́wàá nìkan, nítorí pé ẹlòmíì lè wo owó tó kó jọ. Ẹ wá wò pé tó bá yọ ìdámẹ́wàá lórí ẹ̀, ó wo bí ìdámẹ́wàá ẹ̀ ṣe pọ̀ tó ẹ̀ máa kó iye eléyìí ó ti pọ̀ ju, máa kó lẹ̀ fọlọ́run. Lọ́kàn tiẹ̀ nǹkan tó ti ń rò lọ́kàn ẹ̀ ni pé bóun bá yọ owó yẹn, èyí tó kù lè má tó òun náà. Níwàá àwọn tó ń yọ tí wọ́n fi ìgbàgbọ́ sọ́kàn rí pé kì í ṣe owó yẹn gangan ni ó ń tọ́jú mi bí ìbá ṣe Ọlọ́run, wọ́n á yọ láì ronú pé méjì, torí pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé kò sí ohun tí mo yọ yìí àbí èyí tó ṣẹ́kù, ohun gangan kọ́ ni ohun tó máa gbé mi di bóyá oṣù tó ń bọ̀ àbí whatever, bí kò ṣe wípé mò ń fi fún Ọlọ́run ẹni tó jẹ́ orísun ìpèsè mi. Kò dẹ̀ sí bó ṣe lè pọ̀ tó, bóyá lórí ẹ̀bùn tán fún mi ni o, àbí bóyá lórí owó oṣù ni o, àbí bóyá lórí owó tí mo pa lórí ọjà, kò sí bó ṣe lè pọ̀ tó, mo fi fún Olúwa nítorí pé òun ni orísun ìpèsè fún mi. So ohun tí mo máa ń gba àwọn ènìyàn níyànjú nìyẹn, nǹkan tí Ọlọ́run fẹ́ rí gan nìyẹn, torí pé ọkàn kì í ṣe pé nípa kákan wípé mo ń tẹ̀lé òfin ní ká máa ṣe, mo dẹ̀ ń ṣe, no, ọkàn tó fi ṣe. Jésù sọ nínú ìwé Matthew orí 23, ibẹ̀ ló ti bá àwọn Farisí wí, tó àwọn ẹ̀ mú òfin yẹn gan pé o gbọ́dọ̀ san ìdámẹ́wàá, o gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe báyìí, o gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe. So ìyẹn ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn máa ń kòtì láyé òde òní, Matthew 23 pé Jésù gan ò fara mọ́ ìdámẹ́wàá. Because Bíbélì yẹn sọ níbẹ̀, Jésù sọ fún àwọn Farisí, ó ní ègbé ni fún yín ẹ̀yin Farisí, torí pé ẹ̀yin san ìdámẹ́wàá mìntì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ó ní ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yin ẹ fi ọ̀ràn tó tóbi jù nínú òfin ẹ fi sílẹ̀ láì ṣe, èyí ni àánú, òtítọ́ àti òdodo. Ó ní ẹ fi wọ́n yẹn sílẹ̀, ó ní ẹ wá ń san ìdámẹ́wàá. ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tó máa parí ọ̀rọ̀ mẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní gbogbo ìwọ̀n yìí ni ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ fi sílẹ̀ láì ṣe àti ìdámẹ́wàá náà. So ohun tó ń sọ ni wípé mi ò ní kẹ́ má sàn dámẹ́wàá o ṣùgbọ́n ohun tó ṣe pàtàkì jù ìdí tí Ọlọ́run kan fi sọ pé kẹ́ ṣe ni pé láti fi pèsè fún àwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún láti ṣe bó ti tọ́ ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tẹ́ bá ń sàn ìdámẹ́wàá ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀ ń fìyà jẹ lòmíì àwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún ẹ̀ pọ́n wọn lójú kí ni àǹfààní ìdámẹ́wàá tẹ̀ ń sàn.
tó dáa jẹ́ ká wá wò láti bí ṣé dandan ni kó jẹ́ pé ìjọ Ọlọ́run ni mo máa san ìdámẹ́wàá sí mo lè lérò àwọn ọmọ Léfì lọ́ní ká fún ní ìdámẹ́wàá àbí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
tí máa rò pé mi ò sọ ìdámẹ́wàá tèmi sínú ìjọ mo fẹ́ fi ìdámẹ́wàá mi mo fẹ́ fi fún àlùfáà àbí mo fẹ́ fún pásítọ̀ ṣó tọ̀nà.
ok láti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ńgbà tó di òfin lábẹ́ òfin Mósè àwọn ọmọ Léfì ló ń gbà ìdámẹ́wàá ẹ mọ̀ nínú àwọn ọmọ Jákọ́bù 12 ni wọ́n so ìran Léfì nínú gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Jákọ́bù ìran wọn ni wọn ò ní ìpín bóyá pín ilẹ̀ fún wọn torí pé a pè wọ́n ní ọmọ Léfì so a gbàgbọ́ pé nínú iṣẹ́ Léfì iṣẹ́ àlùfáà nìkan ti lọ máa jẹ so nípa bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a ṣe sọ pé àwọn nìkan máa gba ìdámẹ́wàá ẹ wá sí ayé òde òní nírú ìjọ tí èmi ti wá tó jẹ́ African Church ètò ti wà ètò bíi pé ẹni tó bá jẹ́ àlùfáà nínú ìjọba ó ń gba sálárì lóṣooṣù àti ṣètò pé tóṣù bá parí òye báyìí la máa fún ẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó oṣù ẹ so nítorí bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ó bá ti ń gba sálárì tá a ti ń ṣètò ìpèsè wà fún so ìdámẹ́wàá yẹn ó kúkú lọ sínú church níbi tá a ti ṣètò pákéjì owó oṣù fún àlùfáà yẹn so that is why tó fi jẹ́ pé ní ayé òde òní a gba àwọn èèyàn ní ìmọ̀ràn pé ẹ san sí church especially àwọn ìjọ tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní ètò owó oṣù fún àlùfáà.
ǹjẹ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni fún mi pé mi ò fẹ́ fi tèmi sí inú ìjọ àlùfáà ni mo fẹ́ fún tàbí kí fi fún aláìní níta tí ò ṣe nínú ìjọ ẹ mọ̀ mo lè dédé wò pé ìdámẹ́wàá tèmi obìnrin kan wà lọ́nà àdúgbò mi àgbàdo ló ń ta ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún ṣé mo lè lo ìdámẹ́wàá mi yẹn mo lè lo láti fi ràn án lọ́wọ́ kó dẹ̀ jẹ́ ìtẹ́wọ́gbà níwájú Ọlọ́run pé mo ti san ìdámẹ́wàá.
ó ṣeéṣe láti jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ ìtẹ́wọ́gbà níwájú Ọlọ́run pé bá san ní ìlànà yẹn ṣùgbọ́n ohun tí ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbé ni wípé kò gbọ́dọ̀ sí ààyè nínú ìjọ tẹ́ ń lọ láti sọ wípé bóyá wọn ò rí owó oṣù àlùfáà san ṣé nǹkan tí mo sọ yẹn yé yín torí pé pàtàkì ni wípé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ìtọ́jú àlùfáà.
àwọn ilé ìjọsìn kan lóde òní wọ́n máa ń fi ègún sí orí pé tó bá ti san ìdámẹ́wàá nǹkan báyìí ló máa ṣe é nǹkan báyìí ṣé bíbélì ṣe sọ nìyẹn pé dandan ni kí wọ́n fi ègún lé ẹni tí ò san ìdámẹ́wàá.
irú yẹn mo fẹ́ gbàgbọ́ pé wọ́n ń lo ìwé Málákì tẹ́lẹ̀ rántí Málákì náà sọ ń pa ìdámẹ́wàá orí 3 ó ní láti ẹnu wòlíì Málákì ó sọ pé Ọlọ́run sọ pé ẹ̀yin jà mí ní olè ọ̀nà wo lẹ fi ń gbàjà mí ní olè nípa ìdámẹ́wàá àti ọrẹ ó wá tẹ̀síwájú ẹnu gbogbo ìdámẹ́wàá wá sílé wọn kí oúnjẹ lè wà ní ilé mi ó ní ẹ fi èyí dán mi wò bí èmi kì yóò bá kòkòrò ajẹnirun wí lórí yín so ẹlòmíì máa ń mú bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ó túmọ̀ sí pé tó o bá sán kòkòrò ajẹnirun lè
jẹ iṣẹ́ o
ó lè jẹ ẹ o tó yẹn lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ máa ń lò ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run wa kì í ṣe ẹni tó jẹ́ pé kì í ṣọba àkà ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó ju ọ̀rọ̀ ìdámẹ́wàá lọ Ọlọ́run á tún wò wọ́n báyìí
á tún dáríjì wá.
àwa gangan ló yẹ ká wò pé ojúṣe lélẹ̀ kò dìgbà tó jẹ́ pé bóyá wọ́n bá ṣe threatening ẹ pé tó bá sán o báyìí máa ṣe ìgbà yẹn lọ lómi náà yẹ kó jẹ́ láti ọkàn sí ọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run.
ẹ̀yin ará ilé mo lérò wípé ẹ ti rí nǹkan ẹyọ kan tàbí méjì mú nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí àlùfáà wa the venerable Simeon Ajayi láti ìjọ the African Church Emmanuel Parish number 1 Thomas Alako Street Ìjàyè-Ọgbà tí wọ́n bá wa yànnàná láàárọ̀ yìí àwọn ìbéèrè kan ti ń wọlé láti àwọn ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn aráalé ní báyìí ká tó máa mú àwọn ìbéèrè yẹn gbéyẹ̀wò ẹ jẹ́ ká dé òkè náà. Padà sórí ètò kí ni bíbélì sọ lórí ìkànnì TVWest ọ̀kanòjọ̀kan ìbéèrè ló ti wọlé àtọ̀ sí àwọn ìbéèrè lórí ìdámẹ́wàá o ìbéèrè àkọ́kọ́ tí mo ní níbí báyìí ló sọ wípé akíyín o àǹtí Abọ́sẹ̀dé à ń gbádùn ètò yín ìbéèrè tèmi kì í ṣe lórí ìdámẹ́wàá àti ọrẹ o ìbéèrè tèmi ni pé kí ni bíbélì sọ lórí ká máa mu sìgá tàbí ká ya tàtú ká dá imú lu ǹjẹ́ kí ni bíbélì sọ lórí ẹ̀ ṣé ọ̀rọ̀ bíbélì kọ́kọ́ fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé kò dáa fún ọmọ ènìyàn láti dámú lu tàbí láti ya tàtú sára.
dá imú lu.
àǹtí Fọláṣadé Phillips láti Arigidi Àkókó nípínlẹ̀ Ondo ni wọ́n béèrè ìbéèrè yìí.
ẹ ṣe púpọ̀ jẹ́rìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn kan mi ò kì í ṣe àlùfáà tó máa ń sọ pé òfin nǹkan tó fi bá sọ ẹ tẹ̀lé àbí báyìí èmi máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé ìjọsìn pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run ó ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ìbáṣepọ̀ nínú ọkàn yìí àti Olúwa mo máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn ohun tẹ́ ẹ sọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yàtàtú
ọ̀dàmúlu ọ̀dàdòdòlu ọ̀dàhànlu ọ̀ṣẹ̀jẹ̀ ikọ̀ yìí.
nínú bíbélì láyé àtijọ́ wọ́n rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí irú tàtú mi a rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣà àwọn ilẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn ilẹ̀ kan wà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì lọ a pè àwọn kan ní báwo ni bíbélì ṣe pè wọ́n bí àwọn Gentiles àwọn tí ẹ mọ̀ pa Ọlọ́run ka àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ẹni lójú Ọlọ́run àwọn ilẹ̀ àwọn míì wọ́n bí àwọn ará Kénáánì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ àwọn yẹn Ọlọ́run lé wọn kúrò nílẹ̀ wọn tí àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ so àwọn yẹn ó ní àṣà táwọn ń ṣe Ọlọ́run mìíràn làwọn yẹn ń sìn ní ọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn irú tàtú yẹn ń sìn ó jẹ́ bí ọ̀nà tí àwọn fi ń jọ́sìn fún Ọlọ́run wọn so ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nínú àwọn àṣà yẹn lọ́lọ́run lọ́run kó tẹ́ bá dé ilẹ̀ tẹ́ ń lọ ilẹ̀ àjèjì ní o ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yin lẹ fẹ́ lọ gbà ẹ má darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn kẹ́ lọ máa ṣe àwọn àṣà tí wọ́n ń ṣe o ṣe yín máa ẹ̀ so òun ni ó fi dàbí ẹni pé nínú bíbélì ọ̀ wò bí ẹni pé ní àwọn májẹ̀mú láéláé àìlọ́wọ́ sí ṣùgbọ́n ẹ bá wá tó wá wò wá sí àṣà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣe mọ̀ pé fashion abẹ́mu.
àwọn ìyàwó aláyé ọjọ́ sí wọ́n fi kọ orúkọ wọn sí Àgbékẹ́ Àdùnní.
ìjọ̀rọ̀ mi yé yìí so tábà wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ pé máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbà bí ìgbà ọtí a kàn máa tanra wa jẹ ni a dẹ̀ fi àwọn nǹkan tó ṣe pàtàkì sílẹ̀ láì ṣe èmi á máa sọ fún àwọn èèyàn wípé ohun tó máa ṣe irú ọ̀rọ̀ tí sìgá mímu àbúrò ọ̀tẹ̀gbà
sìgá mímu náà wà bẹ́ẹ̀.
ó wà gẹ́gẹ́ ni ẹ ṣe sọ àti tẹ́lòmíì bá béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi nípa ọtí mímu náà gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ìdí tí Ọlọ́run ṣe máa sọ wípé ẹ má ṣe báyìí òun ni nítorí wípé kí ni àtúbọ̀tán àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí tó máa fà sí ìlera ara rẹ̀. So bó bá ti ń ṣe nǹkan kan tó dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé ó máa ní àtúbọ̀tán tó lè kó bá àgọ́ ara ẹ̀, ara nǹkan tí Ọlọ́run fẹ́ ká yàgò fún nìyẹn. Nítorí ara wa dẹ̀ ni ò kìí ṣe Ọlọ́run ò fi òfin sílẹ̀ nítorí tiẹ̀. Gbogbo òfin tẹ́ bá rí torí pé torí ara wa ni o, kìí ṣe torí bóyá ẹ pa òfin mọ́ ẹ pòfin mọ́. Ọlọ́run jọ́ Ọlọ́run lọ.
ìyẹn ni pé ẹni tó bá ṣe Jẹ́ríkò ìbí alọ́mọkùnrin tó ya tàtú tó dá múlu ṣùgbọ́n tí iṣẹ́ ìsìn ẹ̀ pé lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba ǹjẹ́ nǹkan kò lẹ́ṣẹ̀.
Ohun mìíràn tún ni wípé ohun tó bá ti ṣe tó bá máa mú ẹlòmíràn kọsẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹnìkan mo ṣe wà yìí. Èmi fẹ́ràn tàtú yẹn, ó ní báwọn kan ṣe máa ṣe tó jẹ́ pé tí n bá rí báyìí ó máa wù mí. Ṣùgbọ́n èmi ò lè ṣe nítorí pé tí n bá ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí àlùfáà tí àwọn èèyàn wò àwòkọ́ṣe, ẹlòmíì lè lọ ṣe tiẹ̀ lọ́nà tó jẹ́ wípé ó máa di àkóbá fún un.
ó dà ìbéèrè yìí rèé láti ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ láti Èrúwà. Precious Olúfẹ́mi ó sọ wípé wọ́n sọ pé ìpè máa dún pé rapture máa wà, ṣé lásìkò yìí ni ìgbà wo ni rapture yẹn fẹ́ dé gan? Ṣé báyìí máa ń wò ní ọjọ́ àmáwòmáwò wọn pé ó fún fèrè ni tàbí bó gangan lọ́kọ́ sí? Ó lóun ti ṣèwádìí nínú Bíbélì, òun ò rí bí tó kọ rapture sí nínú Bíbélì. Ǹjẹ́ lè bá wa fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀?
Ìpè máa dún rapture àti ìpadàbọ̀ Jésù lẹ́ẹ̀kejì àwọn èèyàn máa ń kó mọ́ra. Ìpadàbọ̀ Jésù lẹ́ẹ̀kejì àti ìgbàsókè àwọn àyànfẹ́ wà nílé ìjọba wo ìwé Tẹsalóníkà wọn á rí mbẹ, Tẹsalóníkà kejì wọn á rí mbẹ, bá dẹ̀ wo ìwé Revelation wọn á rí mbẹ. So ó kì í ṣe pé bóyá irọ́ nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ni. Jésù nígbà tó ń lọ ó lóun padà bọ̀ láti wá kó àwọn àyànfẹ́ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ìgbà tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ni gan sọ pé àwọn áńgẹ́lì Ọlọ́run ò lè sọ. Ṣùgbọ́n ká má gbé ìgbé ayé wa pé ìgbà wo ni rapture fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀. Má gbé ìgbé ayé ẹ̀ bí ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé rapture gan ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọ̀la. So ẹlòmíì àwọn míì máa calculate pé bóyá tí rapture báyìí di the next 50 years yẹ kí n jẹ ayé mi bó bá ṣe wù mí. Tó bá ti kù 2 years kí rapture tó ṣẹlẹ̀ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ni máa gbégbé ayé. No, Ọlọ́run ìyẹn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run sọ fún wa. Ẹ gbégbé ayé tó dára, bóyá rapture máa ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́la àbí lọ́túnla.
Àwọn aráalé wọn sọ wípé àwọn kí àlùfáà wa pé wọ́n kú iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run, wọ́n gbàdúrà, wọ́n ní òróró yín, wọ́n ní kí Ọlọ́run túbọ̀ máa bùkún òróró yín. Ó wá béèrè, ó ní orúkọ òun ni Jàre Olúṣayọ̀ láti Tọpó ní Badagry nípínlẹ̀ Èkó. Wọ́n ní ṣé Ọlọ́run máa ń gbọ́ gbogbo àdúrà àbí àwọn máa ń gba àwọn àdúrà kan, àwọn kan máa gbà àwọn kan ò ní gbà? Ṣé kí ló dé pé kò ṣe gbogbo àdúrà tí èèyàn bá ń gbà lọ́lọ́run máa ń gbà?
Nínú àdúrà tí Jésù kọ́ wa, ara àwọn kan tó kọ́kọ́ sọ ń rẹ̀ ni pé kí ìjọba rẹ dé, ìfẹ́ tìrẹ ni kí a ṣe ní ayé wọ́n ti ṣe bí wọn. Ó túmọ̀ sí pé nínú àdúrà téèyàn bá ń gbà, èyí tẹ́ bá rí pé ó ṣẹ, ó túmọ̀ sí pé ìfẹ́ wà, ìfẹ́ tìrẹ ni kó ṣẹ. Pápá jùlọ tó bá ń béèrè nǹkan lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, ìfẹ́ Ọlọ́run ló máa ṣẹ o. So èyí tó bá dàbí ẹni pé òun béèrè fún ṣùgbọ́n kì í ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe máa ń ṣe àpẹẹrẹ ọmọ kékeré tó ṣe ń ṣe kíní tó ti ń béèrè fún jet, kí ló fẹ́ fi ṣe? àbọ̀ béèrè fún mọ́tò. Ẹlòmíì máa béèrè fún nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé kíní ẹ̀ ló máa pa, Ọlọ́run ò ní fún nírú àkókò yẹn. So gbogbo gẹ́gẹ́ bí èmi ṣe máa sọ, gbogbo àdúrà ló ń gbà, ṣùgbọ́n bó ṣe máa gbà ló yàtọ̀. So ó lè gbà sí ọ̀nà pé yes, Olúwa ti fún ọ ní nǹkan tó fẹ́. Ó lè gbà sí ọ̀nà no, Ọlọ́run ò ní fún ẹ torí pé ó lè pa ẹ́ lára. Ó lè gbà sí ọ̀nà kẹta wípé dúró wait, màá ṣe ń gbà tó bá tó àkókò tó máa yẹ.
Òyìnbó ni Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Olúṣọlá Olóyèdé láti Abẹ́òkúta nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn wọ́n fi kọ ìbéèrè tuntun. Wọ́n sọ pé were the miracles in the Bible real historical events or are they symbolic stories?
Miracles in the Bible.
Ìyẹn ni pé ṣé àwọn iṣẹ́ àmì ti nínú Bíbélì wọ́n ní ṣó rí o, ṣó tọ́ ni àbí wọ́n kàn sọ pé kọ́kọ́ fi ṣe òfegè fáwọn èèyàn.
Go to Israel now, go to the land of Israel, they will show you where all this thing happened. Ibi tí gbogbo ẹ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n á fi hàn wá.
Ìyẹn tó bá lọ sí Jerusalem.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ bá lọ sí Jerusalem wọ́n á fi gbogbo ibi tí Jésù ti sọ mi jẹ ti wá ibi tí ó ti rìn lórí omi àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ náà máa fi hàn. So kì í ṣe bóyá òfegè àwọn nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lóòótọ́ àti ní òdodo ni. So kẹ́yìn ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan máa gbòògbé ẹni pé ìwé ìtàn ni wọ́n kàn fi ń ṣe bí symbol ní kálẹ̀ fi àwọn nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sọ pé bóyá symbol ni ẹ fẹ́ sọ pé bóyá Jésù wá sáyé lóòótọ́ nìyẹn. Jésù wá sáyé lóòótọ́ ó dẹ̀ ṣe àwọn iṣẹ́ àmì àti iṣẹ́ ìyanu èyí tó máa mú kí àwọn ènìyàn tó gbàgbọ́ nínú agbára Ọlọ́run.
Ó dà lákòótán ẹ bá wa sọ fáwọn ará ilé ohun tó yẹ àti ohun tó tọ́ lórí ìdámẹ́wàá bí
àmọ̀ràn tèmi rèé fún àwọn ènìyàn ni wípé bá Ọlọ́run rìn débi wípé ó gba Ọlọ́run gbọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí orísun ìpèsè àti olùpèsè rẹ̀ débi wípé ohunkóhun tó bá wà ní ọwọ́ rẹ̀ kò pọ̀ ju ohun tó lè fún Ọlọ́run lọ. O gbọ́dọ̀ ní owó tó jẹ́ pé wàá wò pé lè tóbi ju ohun tí mo lè fún Olúwa. So fi ara rẹ bá Ọlọ́run rìn débi pé kò sí ohun tó ẹlòmíín fún Ọlọ́run ju ìdámẹ́wàá ibi tó bá Ọlọ́run rìn dé. So kò dẹ̀ sí ohun tí ènìyàn bá fi fún Ọlọ́run ní ìlọ́po ìwà fi fún ọ padà tó máa sọ fún ọ.
So ẹ̀yin ará ilé lórí ìkànnì TVWest náà la ṣì wà lórí ètò Kí ni Bíbélì sọ. Mo lérò yìí pé ẹ ti rí kan àbí méjì mú nínú gbogbo àlàyé tí àlùfáà ìjọ the African Church Emmanuel Parish 1 Thomas Alako Street Ìjàyè-Ògbà the Venerable Simeon Ajayi tí wọ́n bá wa sọ lẹ́ni. Àlùfáà akínyìn ẹ ṣé gan tá a pè yín tẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ wa. Mo lérò wípé nígbà tá a bá tún pè yín lórí ìbéèrè míì ẹ jẹ́ wa. Nígbà tá a bá ti pè yín ẹ ṣé. Tó níbí ni a ó fi àdàgbà ètò Kí ni Bíbélì sọ lórí ìkànnì TVWest tòní sí. Orúkọ mi ò yí padà, Abọ́sẹ̀dé Adégbóyèga lórúkọ mi.
Thank you for joining us. You're watching News Radar on TVWest. I'm Victoria Obudende. Here's what making headlines this hour. The United States praises President Tinubu for his firm stance against terrorism in Nigeria with a letter from Trump specifically commending efforts to protect Christian communities from violence. Nigeria Custom confirms the full reopening of exports at the Nigeria-Benin border with over 20,000 metric tons of non-oil goods valued at more than 1 billion naira recorded in Q2. On the foreign scene, Trump threatens to destroy Iranian infrastructure each time Tehran targets a vessel in the Hormuz Strait, as Houthi allies in Yemen warn of attacks on another key waterway. And in sports, Pep Guardiola is being considered for Italy's vacant coaching job, the Football Federation confirms, after the Azzurri missed a third straight World Cup and Gazzuto stepped down following their playoff exit in April. We'll bring you the details in a moment. Now the news in full. The Federal High Court in Abuja has sentenced 3 suspects linked to the abduction of pupils and teachers in Oyo State to life imprisonment. Justice Salim Ibrahim ordered that the sentence should take effect from the date of their arrest. The convicts are Abdulrazak Umar, Yanusi Musa, and Shasum Adamu Sani. They were found guilty of terrorism and kidnapping charges. They had pled guilty to some counts while denying others. The federal government accused them of belonging to Darul Salem, an affiliate of prescribed terrorist organization. The prosecution alleged they conspired between January and May 2026 to facilitate the abduction of school children and teachers. They were also accused of concealing information about the mastermind of the attack. In May, gunmen invaded 3 schools in Orile local government area, abducting 40 people, comprising 39 pupils and 7 teachers. 2 teachers killed during the raid. United States President Donald Trump has commended President Bola Tinubu for his decisive leadership in tackling terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria. Trump conveyed the commendation in a letter dated July 6th. He particularly praised Tinubu's effort to address violence affecting Christian communities. Trump said the U.S.-Nigeria relationship is crucial at a time where conflict has spread across West Africa. He noted that both countries share a mutual goal of confronting terrorism in all its forms. He highlighted ongoing defense cooperation, noting that the United States has deployed special operation forces to support Nigeria's military. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has dismissed reports that his office allocated 1 billion naira for church musical instruments. In a statement, Kalu said the actual allocation is 780 million naira. He said the funds are intended for youth reorientation and social support through faith-based organizations. The fund will support the purchase of evangelical instruments and public address systems to promote campaigns against narcotics, sexual offenses, and violent crimes. The program aims to instill discipline and character development among young people. Kalu explained that Bender Federal Constituency has 13 electoral wards and over 200 churches. The first phase will cover 130 churches, averaging about 5 to 6 million naira per church. Olamide Oladiji, Speaker of the Ondo State House of Assembly, is reportedly facing impeachment over the alleged diversion of 44 million naira. The money was released by the Ondo State Oil Producing Area Development Commission for the reordering of the 2026 budget. Reports indicate that about 21 of the 26 members have signed an impeachment notice against the Speaker over allegations of financial mismanagement. Multiple sources within the legislature allege that Oladiji failed to carry members along in the disbursement of the money. This has fueled fresh discontent within the Assembly. A source claimed that the Speaker considered stepping down on Monday but was persuaded against the move by a prominent political figure. The Lagos State government has sought the approval of the State House of Assembly to issue a 200 billion naira bond to finance key infrastructural projects. The request was presented in separate letters from the Commissioner for Finance and read during Tuesday plenary. The proposed bond will finance priority projects including the new Masri Children's Hospital, Lagos Island General Hospital, the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Line, and Homu Creek Bridge. The Commissioner said the bond forms part of the state's 1 trillion naira debt and hybrid instruments insurance program. In a separate request, the Commissioner also sought approval for Lagos to participate in the FAAC Receivables Discounting Program. This would allow the states to leverage future FAAC allocations to access about $17 million in the third-party funding. The Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority has impounded 19 cows in Iseyin local government area over allegations of repeated destructions of farmland by grazing cattle. The action followed a petition by a farmer prompting the authority to launch an enforcement operation against illegal grazing. The enforcement team carried out an early morning operation to intercept the herders and their cattle before they could leave the affected farmlands. The authorities seized the cows in line with the state's anti-open grazing law. Efforts are underway to identify the owners for appropriate legal action. The chairperson said the operation formed part of the ongoing efforts to protect farmers and ensure compliance within the law. The Oni of Ife has appealed for peace and unity as the August 15 governorship election in Osun State draws near. Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi made the appeal when the ADC governorship candidate and party leaders visited him. He stressed the need for successive governments and accord Ile-Ife the attention and development befitting its historical significance. The Oni said Ile-Ife remains the source and ancestral home of the Yoruba people. He noted that the late Oni Adesoji Aderemi served as governor of the whole western region since he left office. Ile-Ife has not experienced the level of development befitting its status. He appealed to politicians and their supporters to conduct themselves peacefully. He urged all parties to shun violence, avoid bloodshed, and remain patient. The Ogun Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has announced that export operations are fully resumed at the Nigeria-Benin border. The command recorded a non-oil export volume of 20,972 metric tons valued at over 1 billion naira in the second quarter of 2026. There were no export activities during the same period last year. The exports comprised with white stacks, crushed thermal coal, and compressed natural gas products. The command generated 663 million naira as of the end of June. It expects improved collections in the coming months. Anti-smuggling operations led to seizures worth over 4.6 billion naira. About 30,000 parcels of cannabis weighing over 12 tons were intercepted and handled over to the NDLEA. You are watching News Radar on TVWest. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll bring you more news. Welcome back to News Radar on TVWest. Actress Eniola Badmus and Afrobeat singer Davido has reunited at an event in Abuja, putting rumors of a rift between them to rest. Badmus shares photos and videos on Instagram with the caption, "With the family 30BG," showing her alongside Davido and members of his crew. The pair were seen smiling, chatting, and posing together during the event. Their relationship came under public scrutiny in 2022 following the death of Davido's son. Although report later suggested they had reconciled, their latest public appearance together has renewed public interest in their friendship. Fans have expressed delight at seeing the long-term friends together again after 6 months of speculations about their relationship. The World Health Organization has urged African governments to strengthen national hepatitis programs and expand access to vaccination, testing, and treatment. The WHO Regional Director for Africa said viral hepatitis remains a major public health challenge across the region. He noted that the new hepatitis infection declined by 25% between 2015 and 2024. However, he warned that millions of people continue to miss out on life-saving services despite the availability of effective interventions. He said many people are diagnosed too late or cannot access care, leading to preventable deaths. No one should die from a disease that can be prevented, diagnosed, and in many cases treated. On the global scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has vowed to destroy an Iranian bridge of power plants every time Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. His threats came as Iranian allied Houthis in Yemen threatened a second vital energy route. 7 tankers have changed course in the Red Sea to avoid the Bab el-Mandeb Strait since the outing threat on Tuesday. Oil prices hit a near 6-week high. Brent crude reached more than $95 a barrel before easing back. U.S. gasoline prices have climbed back over $4 a gallon. An Iranian military source said Tehran would retaliate against infrastructure in the region. Iran's near-total blockade of the Strait of Hormuz has stoked inflation around the world. Trump attended a ceremony for 4 U.S. service members killed in Iranian attacks. The war has led to the death of 18 U.S. service members and injured more than 450 troops. And now sports. The Italian Football Federation has confirmed that Pep Guardiola is among candidates for the vacant head coach position. Italy has been without a coach since Gennaro Gattuso resigned after April's World Cup playoff loss. The Azzurri missed out on a third consecutive Men's World Cup. FIGC President Giovanni Malago said the federation is willing to make a financial sacrifice to bring Guardiola, who is a free agent after leaving Manchester City this summer. Malago said talks with Guardiola may not come to fruition, but he believes it was right to open a dialogue. He stressed that Guardiola, former Italy coach Roberto Mancini, and Italy great Andrea Pirlo are not the only candidates. Guardiola has often expressed his desire to coach a national team before he retires. He has won 41 major trophies, including 3 Champions Leagues. That's News Radar for this hour. I'm Victoria Ogudende. Thank you for joining us. Stay with us on TVWest for more trusted journalism, meaningful conversations, and solution-focused programming. Until the next bulletin, stay informed, stay inspired. Thank you for joining us.
The Renewed Hope Ambassadors Lagos Mainland hosted its 2026 annual Ramadan lecture on Monday at the Yaba LCDA Council Secretariat in Lagos, bringing together political leaders, community stakeholders, and members of the Muslim faithful for reflection and spiritual enrichment during the holy month. The lecture, themed "The Role of Leadership: An Islamic Perspective," explored the values of ethical leadership, accountability, and service, emphasizing how faith-based principles can guide leaders toward integrity, justice, and meaningful community development. In his welcome address, the executive chairman of Yaba LCDA described Ramadan as a sacred period devoted to fasting, prayer, reflection, and charity, a time when Muslims worldwide renew their faith and extend compassion to others.
This holy month reminds us of the virtues of patience, discipline, humility, and generosity. Values that are essential not only to our faith, but also to the progress and unity of our society. Today's Ramadan lecture is therefore very significant as it provides us with an opportunity to gather together in spiritual reflection and learning.
He noted that faith-based initiatives play a vital role in promoting peace, harmony, and moral values within society.
Christians also to take this period to reflect on their character, their ways, and just try to be better people. They should be more generous. They should help their brothers and sisters. They should also try to support others and forgive others as well, as God forgives everyone. They also should imbibe the spirit of forgiveness.
Today we have a great president in Nigeria, who within 2 years in office has done tremendously well. He has been able to convince us that Nigeria will not only be good, but it will be better. In 2 years, he has shown us direction, which is one of the most important things, quality of a good leader. The direction, where to go and how to get there. When he comes in as the president, so many of us did not believe him.
The chairman expressed appreciation to the Islamic scholars in attendance and commended the organizers for their dedication to promoting spiritual growth and community enlightenment. He encouraged Muslim faithful to continue praying for the community, state, and nation, urging all present to reflect deeply on the teachings shared and allow them to guide their actions beyond Ramadan.
What the Ramadan period is to Muslims, is a very important period. We are all fasting, we are all taking our prayers, very serious. We are taking our time, in making sure that, we get closer to God, during this period and, do what we have to do to make sure that, we get all of the reward that is being placed there for us as Muslims during this period of Ramadan.
Leadership is just not being the title alone, as I've said in the lecture. So they should see it that this is not a privilege. It has been given to them as a trust, and they should know that they are going to account for whatever they have done during that period.
The two speakers spoke well in the sense that they're looking at relating governance with the people and religion.
Yeah, it's a very good program, and the topic of the lecture is very good. That is a leadership, and if you look around today, everything that we are doing, entails leadership. And whoever wants to lead has to look at the qualities of a leader. A leader should be able to carry all the other subjects around, and the followers too should make sure that they don't make things difficult for the elder.
The event concluded with prayers for peace, prosperity, and unity as participants observed the solemn lessons of the holy month.
The All Progressives Congress in Lagos State has re-elected Pastor Cornelius Ojelabi as chairman for his second 4-year term. Ojelabi emerged through consensus at the party congress held at Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Tuesday. Party leaders say the decision followed extensive consultations with stakeholders across the state's 20 local government areas. Sources disclosed that President Bola Tinubu directed the return of the one-term executive committee members while dropping those who had served 2 terms, including the state woman leader and other officials. This intervention, according to party insiders, was aimed at balancing experience with the need for renewed energy within the party structure. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu applauded the Congress committee for organizing the event on short notice while ensuring smooth screening of candidates. He assured better synergy between the party and state government, emphasizing that Lagos has demonstrated that the party remains supreme.
His Excellency Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, former governor of Lagos State, traditional rulers that are here with us this afternoon, members of the National Assembly that are here with us.
While speaking, Ojelabi described his new tenure as an administration for all, promising a level playing field to unite members across wards and local government ahead of upcoming elections. However, some party members expressed dissatisfaction with how candidates emerged during recent local government primaries. Despite these concerns, many agreed Ojelabi's overall performance earned him leadership confidence. Other elected officials include Deputy Chairman Moshood Olanrewaju, Secretary Adeola Jokumba, Assistant Secretary Azizat Adejumoke Miriam, Publicity Secretary Sheye Oladejo, Woman Leader Shola Eletu, and Youth Leader Seriki Muritala, among others.
opportunity could cost absolutely nothing. I mean, zero. Well, on that note, I welcome you to Opportunity Radio TV on TVWest. My name is Daniel Owoyemi. I'm mighty glad to be here. On this episode, we're unpacking how ordinary Nigerians are taking advantage of opportunities out there. Opportunity Radio TV will connect you to life-changing opportunities. But before I really get into details and unveil who my guest is, so we can get into the depth of this, let's go for this breather. We'll be back after this time out. Stay with us. Alright, welcome back. You're still on to TVWest, and this is Opportunity Radio TV. Before we went on that break, I told you we're going to be unpacking how Nigerians go into full scholarship. What are the opportunities available for them? And I'm being joined this moment by an amazing one who is going to be helping us to unpack this. Good morning, Mrs. Olajumoke Makonyola, representing Study Across Globe.
Good morning, sir.
Glad to have you on Opportunity Radio TV.
Same here, sir.
So let's look at this. Opportunities for Nigerians abound, but not many people are looking at full scholarship. So you want to ask, many Nigerians believe that this is actually impossible. Is it true to have full scholarship, I mean, at zero cost?
Yes, it is. It's very much possible. In sense that we have some partners of body that actually help students or as a nation to actually make the whole study easy. If at all you don't have the financial means, you don't have, but so far you are very intellectually sound, you have much opportunity there, because those people actually look at some categories of things to work with before issuing out a scholarship. And we have a scholarship body that actually help students per se to make it very much easier to achieve your dream in other countries.
So is there anything as full scholarship?
Yes.
So but some you hear scholarship and they don't give you full. Is this still scholarship?
Yes, it's still scholarship.
What do you call that?
Partial scholarship, and we have full scholarship.
Okay, so who pays for this scholarship? I mean, you go to school, you don't pay anything. Who pays for that? They say there's nothing free anywhere, even in Freetown. So how come there are towns something is free? Who pays?
Okay, so we have some bodies that actually helps. They take care of that. That's the government part of the whole scholarship. Bodies of NNPC, Chevrons. We have other people that actually helps with the whole full scholarship part. We have the Irish government that actually, help students with the whole full scholarship funded.
So you want to ask which countries offer the best of the scholarship? I mean, we have scholarship in Nigeria, but which countries globally offer this scholarship?
Like I said, Irish government actually offers full scholarship. We also have what's it called, Chevron, that helps students to, so far you are willing, like I said earlier, so far you are willing to take hold this whole process. So we have people that are willing to do everything like that. And the bodies of Chevron, NNPC, Irish, and some of the schools in UK to actually give what's it called, tuition deposit scholarship. That is it.
Okay, now let's try to get into details now.
Okay.
So when you talk about scholarship, like when do applications really begin? This is July now.
Yeah, this is July.
As applications started, or which period is it? Summer, winter? I mean, which period?
Okay, so the major process for intake is September. That's the major. We have June. We have January. Some schools have May, June, and majorly September. But the major one is September, that we have mass people going to study. So for that, for majorly the scholarship part is going to be for September intake.
Okay, you want to share with us maybe names of some of those scholarships that will be available in September?
Okay, so for scholarships that's going to be available in September, we have the the Chevron, we have the NNPC, we have this Irish government too.
Okay.
They also give full scholarship to students that are willing.
So interested people should start looking out for
September. They should start looking out for September to apply. So they will definitely apply before September because they are working towards September intake. So we're looking at the likes of May, April. So the scholarship should be ahead of the September intake.
So when you say scholarship, what are the reviewers? What are they looking out for? Because we're still going to be looking at details, but like just mention one or two things that they are looking out for.
Okay.
Thousands of people are applying from different parts of the world.
So when we are talking about full scholarship, we're talking about how responsible is the person going to be to handle the whole process. Because I mean, they are doing the person a big favor, huge favor. You have the willingness to actually study, but the means are not there. You understand? So this body is actually, you know, they are looking forward to someone that has that is intellectually sound, someone who is very, very brilliant. You understand? Whereby your financial status is actually low. I mean, you cannot give funded scholarship to someone that has it.
But talk to
the
me.
value is not going to be there.
Why do some people? I just want to put myself in the shoes of someone who is watching and is wondering. Oh, I've applied several times. So what made people? I mean, what makes people get rejected? Why are some people rejected?
Okay, so like you said, there are thousands of people that are going to apply. Different qualification, different things they've actually put in it. So they look into few things. How responsible is this person? I mean, we attended universities. Are you committed? Do you have a maybe a particular club you join or something that makes you responsible? Do you do community service?
So even activities such as extracurricular,
it's actually, yes, it's a factor.
But for someone who did all of these things, I mean, submitted the CVs, the personal statements, and they still got a no, what could be that thing that they may not pay attention to that may be getting them disqualified?
Like I actually said earlier, we have 1001 different qualifications, different, so there will be a particular thing these people are looking into. Like I said, extracurricular activities, intellectually sound, and if the person does not have the means but is willing to learn.
Fantastic. So does it matter whether you graduate with 2-2? Can you still get scholarship?
Okay, so most of the scholarships they do with 2-1.
2-1.
Yes,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be I'm not saying 2-2 is actually not good or third class. No, I'm saying that we have thousands of people doing into this. We have thousands of applicants. So we have first class, we have 2-1, we have 2-2. So definitely they want to pick out the outstanding ones. I'm not saying 2-2 is not outstanding. I'm not saying third class, but with the whole competition thing, I feel from first class to 1. And we have that of what's it called, third class, second class, lower, that can also apply to. That's the partial scholarship with the school. So most of the schools actually help international students, to reduce the tuition. You know, let's assume you have a particular tuition fee of maybe 21,000 and you're giving a discount of 5,500 or probably 7,000. It's something. You understand? But we're looking at full funded scholarship, whereby you don't need to pay tuition fee, you don't need to do living expense, your health fee, everything is going to be taken care of. So I mean, it's a world of competition.
Well, you have been in this terrain for quite a number of years. That's your brand. So you'd like to share with us, have you seen anyone who has gone through this, or have you seen anyone through the process of application for full scholarship and the person came out with yes? Have you seen such?
Yes.
Oh, tell us about
okay, so in my agency, that was last year September, Study Across Globe, we have one of our students that applied to University of Austin, located in Birmingham City. So we have that person last year September. The person actually got full funded scholarship from the university.
100%.
Yes, 100%.
And you took the person through the whole application?
We actually took the person through the whole application process and everything. So we have thousands of people that actually applied.
Can you let us into something spectacular that you do when it comes to applying that? Of course, I mean, for that person now that made the person get a yes. I mean, something spectacular.
Okay, so the person applied very early.
Early application, right?
Yes, it matters a lot.
Matters a
yes, person applied very early, and the person actually put the whole process, did the CV, did everything, the extracurricular, whatever she was doing, into the community service she was doing, and then she actually attached everything. So it's not like
proofs,
she,
right?
yes, it's not like she lied or anything. Everything was genuine, and she had a good result.
Okay, well, in case you're just joining us, you're still on to Opportunity Radio TV, reaching you from TVWest, and I've been speaking with my guest, none other than Mrs. Olajumoke Makonjola, joining us from Study Across Globe. We'll go for a break now, and when we return, the team may get bigger than this. Do not be surprised. We're just unpacking opportunities, particularly as Nigerians leave this money on table for scholarship for study abroad. We'll be back after this time out. Welcome back. You're still on to TVWest, and this is Opportunity Radio TV, and we have been looking at opportunities abound in applying for full scholarship. My guest has been Miss Olajumoke Makojola, and this time around we're having the larger team as King David joins us. Hello, King David. Welcome.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You're sitting like you are the king now, right? So you come and take. All right, so
good afternoon.
You're welcome. So Mr. Olajumoke has done a bit of this, so we just want to take it a little higher now. We want to look at the toolbox of applying for full scholarship. What are the things that should be in that toolbox? Some get yes, some get no. But for those who get yes, which we are aware that you've been part of, so what are those things? For instance, which country should one target? Which country offers more scholarship?
Okay, in terms of countries that offer more scholarship, I don't think we'll be placing overemphasis on just one country, but countries like the UK offer scholarship, the US, Germany, Australia. There are so many countries that offer a whole lot or a wider range of scholarship, so we cannot just streamline it down to a particular country.
That makes it even more interesting. Yeah, so you can cast your nets for as wide as you can.
You can explore.
Okay, so what are the courses? Is it STEM courses? Is it social science? What are the courses that offer more that people can really leverage?
Well, I think that at the larger scale of it, there are some scholarship that are course specific. Like the scholarship was designed to attend to a particular industry within a particular economy. Okay. So there are so many, like when you talk about the NMPC scholarship, for example, we already know where it is channeled towards, and some scholarship are also channeled. It's just depending on, I feel like at the core of it, it's depending on the aspect of the economy that body of scholarship has decided to attend to. Absolutely. So that's why we do not have any particular scholarship that is designed solely for you. You just need to typically explore. When the scholarship come out, you tend to see the range of courses that it has been designed to attend to, and if it does suit your checklist, you can put in application.
Okay, you shared a success story the other time, and it gladdens heart to hear that you were part of such from A to Z. Yeah. But it's important to also ask, for some of these scholarship, people do interview, right? So is it for all of them to do interview? Or some are interview phobia. I mean, interview phobic. They hear of interview, they're afraid. They want to go, they apply for visa, they say interview, they're afraid. So is it all of this scholarship application that people have to appear for interview?
Yeah, but mostly you have to take an exam. Like I said, for them to streamline or sieve some some entries, yes. So they need to, out of thousands or millions of people that is going to apply, definitely they'll write an exam. So after the exam, some people will pass, and it's beyond whatever you've budgeted for. So I feel your interview is going to sieve some other people.
Yes. So I'll come back to you, King David. Like when you do your CV now, let's look at the toolbox. I want us to unpack the toolbox now. Your CV, what should your CV look like when you're applying for? I mean, for sponsorship, for scholarship, what should your CV look like?
Okay, for the CV is meant to be a document that exposes intricate details about you, starting from who you are, your detailed assessment of who you are, what you believe in, your values, and what you stand for. Then after that, they want to see your educational qualifications. They want to see the level you've gotten to academically. Of course, you need to also be detailed in your CV, because you're applying for a scholarship, you're in competition against so many people, probably in competition against the world. So you would want to place yourself at a bit, and at the core of it is the fact that we tailor our CVs to suit the opportunities we want to apply for. So you need to tailor your CV to suit the opportunity you're planning to apply for. So you would want to place in academic qualifications that are typically relevant to that opportunity. And after that, there is also the experience range. There are some scholarship programs and there are some courses that does require you to have particular real life experiences in some particular field, and you would need to, of course, highlight that significantly with details on your achievement within those roles as at when you help them. So tailoring your CV to suit what you have applied for places you at a better advantage to getting the scholarship, because what they want to see more is they want to see details, very, very strong details about you as a person.
Okay, now CV is just one out of many things that should be in that toolbox for application. So what are those other things? Like, I want to apply for full scholarship now. What are the things that the document, the credentials, the things that
Okay, just like you said, the CV is just one out of many. There is the academic certifications, your transcript, your WAEC, and some other academic qualifications you would want to add up to it. There is the personal statement.
What is that personal statement? It's like there is your personal statement. What is personal statement?
The personal statement.
Let me be realistic.
Okay.
The first time I had personal statement, in fact, they didn't call it personal statement. They call it PS.
Okay.
And in my campus, they used to call PS permanent site. So I was thinking, what does permanent site have to do with?
Some people call it statement of purpose.
Statement of purpose,
Yeah.
SOP. I thought it was song of praise. So, personal statement. What is it all about? What is it?
Okay, just like the name does imply, it is called personal. So
It's just a statement.
It's not just a statement.
Like when you go to police station, they say right statement. That statement is just not one statement.
Even the statement within the Nigerian country is more than a statement.
Okay.
Okay, so just like it states, it's a personal statement. It means that it has to do about who you are, what you represent, and why you are a viable investment for that scholarship. They want to see that there. And that means that to a large extent, you must have done your research. You must have researched about the scholarship program, what the program is all about, what benefit is included, and what results they want to see after you've undergone the scholarship.
Wow.
And so all of these details is what would help you and guide you and inform you about what to put in your personal statement. But at the core of your personal statement is they want to see who you are, they want to see your future ambitions, they want to see prospect, your future prospect. So your personal statement, like I said, is personal. It gives details about who you are, what you represent, and before you actually jump to write your personal statement, you need to make a very detailed research about what you're writing your personal statement for.
Yeah.
Oh, impressive. In case you're just joining us, you're still onto the program, which is Opportunity Radio TV, and we have been looking at how Nigerians can leverage on full scholarship, and we have been joined by people who have hands-on experience taking people through how they apply for scholarship and they got a yes. So we'll be right back after this time out, but in a moment, if you have interest in applying for something of this nature, I think you should wait for the next segment, which I'll be unpacking some other interesting approaches to this. We'll be back after this time out. All right, welcome back. You're still on to Opportunity Radio TV, reaching you live and direct, reaching you from TVWest. So I'm being joined, as usual, by the representatives from Study Across Globe, Mrs. Olajumoke Makonjola and King David. So just some rapid questions that I'm just going to be asking you. Number one is, the biggest mistake Nigeria makes is what on full scholarship application? With you, Mr. Olajumoke, the biggest mistake Nigeria makes?
The biggest mistake Nigeria makes when it comes to full scholarship is the fact that I feel they've actually, you don't know what, they know what they want, but they actually don't know what it all entails. They don't know the documents you get. So
okay, that's the biggest mistake they make when it comes to scholarship application.
The non-awareness, they are not aware of what the scholarship entails is all about.
Okay.
You just hear scholarship like.
Okay, I'll come to King David. If I had 200,000, can that take me to putting things together to apply for full scholarship as a Nigerian?
Well, I would say no. And the reason why I would say no is because scholarship are different from each other. There is need-based scholarship and there is merit-based scholarship. They're different from each other. The needs-based scholarship requires quite some, and even before we even dive into the difference between this
okay, he said no. I just want to get a yes or no. Okay. Okay, I'll come to Ms. Olajumoke. Okay, the easiest country to target is what?
The easiest country to target based on scholarship, right?
Yes.
Okay, like David has said earlier, we have different countries.
So there's no easiest country.
Like everything, you have your merit, you have your dismerit. So we have some factors to put into it.
So does not exist. There's no easiest country.
We have. I will not. Don't put me on that spot, please. What I'm saying is, we have some conditions that actually merit it. So I will not want us to use easiest.
Okay.
So it's just.
Okay. Since there is no easiest, the hardest country to target is which? King David.
The hardest countries to target
based on scholarship.
Yes. I don't think there is an hard country to target. I just feel like you need to have a merit.
Okay. So what should applicants stop doing, and what should applicants start doing? What should applicants start doing?
They should connect to the right source when it comes to the scholarship base.
So what should applicants stop doing?
They should stop just dreaming and start putting together the right documents necessary for the applications.
All right, I think on that note, we have been able to touch on vital areas of what it requires for you to apply for full scholarship. I've been joined by very amazing people from Study Across Globe. That is Mrs. Olajumoke Makonyola. Thank you so much for coming to Opportunity Radio TV. I hope next time we'll invite you. You'll be more than willing to join us. And also by King David, the IT of Study Across Globe. Thank you so much for coming to Opportunity Radio TV. Until next edition of Opportunity Radio TV, I remain yours sincerely, Daniel Oweyemi. Ensure that when you see opportunities, you grab it not only with one hand, with two hands, because the major difference between the rich and the poor is just about opportunities that they hear of and they take advantage of timely. Thank you so much, executive producer and everyone behind the camera, and we hope that next time you will join us. Thank you, and keep watching TV West. Have a great day. Bye.
Issue has many voices. Before the experts debate them, before the politicians defend them, we hear it directly from the people. This is Citizens Direct on TV West. My name is Victoria Ogudainde. In the past 1 month, several communities have experienced flooding in and around Nigeria, which has left many homeless. Today on Citizens Direct, we hit the streets to ask citizens if they think enough is being done to prevent flood disasters in Nigeria.
This draining from Mogbaye is very terrible. The government is not doing anything about the draining. Just come and pack dustbin, pack all the sand, go and sell it. If you see the rain are falling on yesterday on this, it enters some house people. Some people lose, some people gain. That one is not good. Like Okyodo now. I went to Okyodo yesterday. I cannot come back. I took Okada from Okyodo, 5,000 naira because of the draining. The draining is always wasting property. You should government try for us to do something about the draining. If you come from the Caterpillar now or yesterday, the draining is very bad. Students, God save this one student. It's one Abokina carry the student from the quarter, or less that water will carry their student go. Please let us do a lot of things for the woman and the man and because Nigeria now suffer. What is calling it? carry Boko Haram, nobody can sleep very well. She want make God help us, government to try for us by grace of God.
They say when you say the truth shall set you free. On the side of Tinubu, pushing money, are you getting me? To checkmate fraud in Nigeria. The man really is doing that perfectly. Are you getting me? To say the truth. But on the side of people, he's handing over the monitor. They are all criminals. So in generalizing everything, to generalize everything, they are carrying it on his head because he's not up and doing. To checkmate them, there is what we call price control and rationing. When you send agents to go to the market, if you want to control the price of commodities that is publishing your name, there is a section they used to call price control and rationing. These are the people that will enter into the market and check what the government has given order to sell is what they are selling. Are you getting me now? But because of other activities he's facing, are you getting me? He has not been able to cope with it. So that is why he's selling on the area of that one. He has given them enough to checkmate it. But there are criminals around him. Are you getting me? That are not doing enough to help him, to promote his name. Are you getting me? That's on the side of that. But total failure in security purposes. Total failure.
Yes. The government is doing a lot about the floor in Lagos State because government is doing a lot. But most of the people in Lagos State, they are not helping the government based on when it is rain now. So a lot of community they will carry a lot of what's it called, dustbin, pour inside the gutter, and this thing it contributes a lot of problem in the government. We can imagine. You cannot expect government to come to what's it called, come to the streets, come to under the bus stop in the midnight to come and observe people. So we as a community, we need to do the needful in order to help the government.
Don't think enough is being done to prevent flood, because if the necessary and adequate infrastructure is put in place and due diligence, I don't think there will be flood in Nigeria that will cause chaos. The citizens are contributing because refuge where they ought to be, they'll be storing the refuge in the gutter, and it's also blocked the water flow.
Government have been trying. They've been trying their best. But you see, we citizens are like animals, which we need to be treated like animals. When you direct somebody this way and somebody doesn't follow, how do you feel? When the government is trying to put an infrastructure whereby the drainage will be okay for the people, whereby water will flow, you see some people who still carry dustbin, who will carry bin to go and block that drainage. The government is trying their best, but it's only that corruption has diminished everything. There is no checkmating in anything. The government only make law, but they don't checkmate the law they put to the people they are making the law for. There's a difference between giving a law, then checkmating that law you give. Maybe people are following that law. The government are trying, giving a law, but the people are not following that step the government want them to follow. That's why you see flood everywhere. Where water is supposed to flow, somebody will carry a bag of dustbin and go and fix there. Some money like say, we even sell the land where water is supposed to pass. When the money like sell land that water is supposed to pass, tell me what will happen to houses around that place? Houses there will collapse. So the government is trying. Only that corruption is like they are wearing suit and tie every day in this country. Thank you very much.
In my own observation, I don't think they are doing enough. They are not doing enough because if you look at what happened recently, you agree with me that part of the reason we are not getting light now is because some players in the power sector declare force majeure, meaning there is a natural disaster that are beyond their control, and because they don't want to breach some contractual agreement without consequence. Force majeure is always a clause in such contract. But the question now is, why I feel they are not doing enough is, look at the flood is a global phenomenon. But what happens in Nigeria and most African countries has some inefficiency on the part of government. When you look at the flooding, you can clearly see that the water is dirty, and the reason it's dirty because the drainage is blocked, and perhaps the debris, the dirty in the gutter is already joining the flood on the streets. So if the government do their due diligence by making sure that they clear all the drainage ahead of time, I have to believe that the flooding will reduce. And another thing it does is, if you have a heavy rainfall, even if you have good drainage system, there are bound to be some level of flood, but it will ease out within a short period of time. I think that's what is obtainable in other places like United Kingdom. That's why if you see that flood is not always dirty. You show that there is heavy downpour that overwhelm the drainage, but within a short space of time it goes away. But when the drainage is blocked, you take some time before you see the water clearing away. So for me, I think our government needs to do more. Citizens, yeah, definitely, there's no argument about that. Our attitude to environment is a major factor. You see, Nigerians, they are not environmentally friendly. Why will a sane someone drop refuse in the gutter, in the drainage, or even on the road? And the most worrisome part of it, that you realize that most recently, Lagos State came up with a policy to phase away styrofoam nylon that cannot be used more than once. The reason is not far-fetched, because studies are proving that, not Nigeria anyway, that small pieces of nylon materials that can only be seen by microscope is already being discovered in the brain of dead persons, even in outside the country. Because by the time you drop all these things in the drainage, it finds its way back to the sea. And these things have no tendency to decay over the years. So it is not environmentally friendly. So I think we should have a stronger policy in place talking about the government, and we should have a serious advocacy to educate Nigerians about the need to be environmental friendly in terms of how you dispose your waste.
They may have done something, but it's not enough. Because if it's enough, there won't be the flood experience. It's not enough, definitely. When they get a contract, they do it wishy-washy. And the end result is what we are saying. That is the way I see it. They are not doing enough. I've been to places in the world and it's properly done, and you will not see the disaster. Then you ask me a second question. No, that is the worst disaster. Citizens are so hygienic. The way they throw pure water things, and our people, our Africans are fun and shots. They throw things anyhow. They don't give a damn. They are not environmentally conscious. So the citizens are zero. Consciousness is not even there. That discipline is not there.
Comment of the day. I mean, Lagos State has not done anything in regard of Lagos State drainage. Do you know the meaning of drainage? Waterways, after rain, floods, channels, from township or urbanities to rivers, to what do you call it, canal. From canal, it empties into the river. From where the river is just emptied into the Atlantic Ocean. Simple. That defines better drainage system. Like you have drainage in Nigeria. If Nigeria is well planned, you can't see this kind of disaster happening in Lagos State, Anambra State, Borno State, all over the country. But we don't plan well. We should have channeled the entire canals to one place from where it will be emptied into Atlantic Ocean. But you can see it. The waterways, the water channels are wrongly constructed. That's why anytime it rains, you see some people dying accidentally. In fact, heavy downpour in Nigeria is a disaster. Because once it occurs, the residents at Lagos Island and Banana Island, all of them will be scampering for safety to get at home before getting or being drowned. You see it. The government has not done anything in terms of channeling the waters, the flood waters, to the right position. only read budgets in that regard and they sink the money, distribute it or disburse it among themselves. We don't have good drainage. The water channels in Nigeria are poorly constructed. The only drainage we have in West Africa, I can just tell you that Lake Chad, River Niger, that's all, River Gambia, Senegambia, River Niger, Hadija, Katsina Allah, Lokoja, where you have the confluence town where River Niger and Benue meets and they wash down to this Atlantic Ocean. That's the only drainage we have in West Africa.
I think the citizens really need to be oriented on how not to put things by the trying to block the flood. You can't block the flood. It's supposed to be left for government to do because they have the capacity. But as individuals, we can't come together and do it. We don't have that fund. And as a result of maybe building house beside the road or selling beside the road or trying to, all this still cause victims to feel bad. So in this case, we need to orient them to shift their things from blood and give way to flood to pass. I think they need to really orient them on that.
They are trying their best. They should do more and more. More especially when they are constructing road. We need a very wide gutter. Is good to have a very wide gutter, and they should also go to the rural area. Government should not concentrate on the cities alone. Go also to the rural area. They are trying their best. They should try more.
I want to thank the Lagos State government for what they have done so far. It's not easy to manage a mega city. Nevertheless, I will make the following suggestions. 1, existing drainages need to be expanded. Number 2, during general cleanup like Saturday sanitation, they should look for vehicles. For instance, there is this tricycle waste carrier sold somewhere along Acme Road. They can use it to evacuate those wastes brought out from the drainages on Saturdays and move them to the receptacle. Number 3, all the major canals in Lagos, they should be desilted quarterly, once every 3 months. Number 4, if you look around you in Lagos, all the street lights, there are no waste bin collectors. If you go to a place like Uyo, they have it on the street lights. They install it. If you drink pure water, bottled water, I want to discard it, you go to the waste bin closest to you and you throw it into that place. So these are some of the steps that Lagos State need to implement to ensure to prevent flooding and make sure that all this the drainages flow well and the flooding is prevented, and also the environment is much more healthy for everybody.
No, there is nothing being done about it. So the town planning laws are not being followed. People build how they want to, and they can manipulate the system and build. And also the government needs to build some dams to prevent the flooding. If you have enough dam and we have our people following the town planning system, I think the flood will be controlled. Because with the way population is exploding in Nigeria, there will be more houses to be built, and the more population we have, the more houses we have, the lesser places the water will have to go. So the water will always find a place. So when there's no proper channel for the water, it will cause flooding.
You've heard it from the citizens. Flood remains a major issue across Nigeria. The citizens are urging the government to step up their game and take responsibility. This is Citizens Direct on TVWest. My name is Victoria Ogudende. Thank you for joining us.
Abiola ìdìbò ọdún 1993 ṣé mo gbé torí lè bá lè dìbò jáde Hausa ti ìbò Yorùbá ni wọ́n dìbò fún mọ́sí ìdí ìjọba kàkà kan gbégbó fún wọn yìí kò jáde lọ́wọ́ orí mi. Ìyàjẹ́ rí ìrọ̀lù Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ ẹgbọ́ra yìí mò ń mú ẹni tà sí dájọ́ ọkú fún fọwọ́ sọ ní àbáṣọ. Ẹ̀dá mi má ṣe dààmú mi, kémi má ṣiṣẹ́ tí ó kó lọ, ètò ìbá mi ṣe kí o dàgbà gbé. Ó bá ti tó ṣe lọ lóòóṣe o, àdínú kan pọ̀lú bá dé. Ó rí mi sí ni ó máa padà lọ.
Oh, my mother. Alhamdulillah. At the end of the day, she must leave. But We are grateful to Almighty Allah. She lived well. Up till this morning, I've even forgotten she has gone. I had to go to her room. I knelt down, the usual thumb up, before I realized she's gone. May her soul rest in perfect peace. In the name of Almighty Allah. This mama that died, they call her Mama Afa. She loves God so much. And I'm grateful to God that while she was still agile, she concentrated on worshiping Allah. She will tell you there's nobody except Allah, and that is the principle that we have hold on to, and I'm passing it down to my children as well. Alhamdulillah. Mama wa jẹ́ olùsìn Ọlọ́run. Nígbà tí ara wọn ṣe kókó, wọ́n dúró, wọ́n fara gbolẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run. Nítorí wọn ò mọ̀ wípé nígbà tágbà bá dé, àwọn lè máa wà ní position láti ṣe. So ó dá nígbà tí agbára bá wà, ká bẹ Ọlọ́run, ká sìn Ọlọ́run.
Oh, yeah.
ìyá ni ìyá yẹn o, ìyá rere, ìyá tó bí ọmọ tó tọ́ nígbà ṣòro àwọ̀tún àwòsàn àríyàn kan, ìyá mi ni ìyá yìí, ìyá ni bá tó ń tún ayé wá lọ́jọ́ mi ọ̀dọ̀ ìyá yìí máa tún yà sí torí abiyamọ ni.
ṣé wàá ní àmọ̀ràn yín fáwọn tó wà ní ìjọba láti máa ṣe dáadáa?
Mo gbàdúrà pé káwọn tó wà ní ìjọba kó máa ṣe dáadáa, kó rántí àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù kébi má pa wá ká dẹ̀ má rogun nílẹ̀ yìí.
Àsìkò Thank you.
She's my mom, the mom of 67 years. You know, somebody that I lived with for 67 years, and I lost her just about a week ago. She's a good mother. There is no word that you can describe her being a good mother that I know of, and also she's a mother for the community. Very good mother.
So your word of advice to leaders to leading good so that people will remember them to
everybody can testify to that. You see, whatever she does in a lifetime, people should just emulate that. Ìyá dáadáa ni Alájà Mutia tó ní gbàǹjo, ìyá tó tọ́ mi ni tó ti dẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ púpọ̀ jù, kò sí nǹkan tí lè fi wé. if I do come to this life again here, I want her to be my mom. And she'll always be my mom. She's somebody I love dearly.
ọlọ́run